Man, I love that music.
That was jamming out
What's
too.
up, everybody? Welcome to
doing?
Inside the Booth. I'm your host, The Law, right here.
Wait, that way.
I am The Law. You know who I am, anyways. And then we got Tabitha.
I am
next
the
to
other
me,
law.
the other host, and our co-host, Aedo from Fabworks. What's up, everyone?
What's
Thanks for coming. Don't forget to hit the vanquish the like button, ding the bell button for notifications, and make sure you share and tell people
All
to
that jazz.
subscribe. That's right. And then don't forget, we also have merchandise.
Gift.
Gifts. Sorry, everybody. My bad.
Aedo calling you out.
I know. We got our gifts. Giftedizing. Where all the real money of this podcast is made. We got neck gaiters or do-rags. I like to call them do-rags. We got t-shirts. Not this one yet, but this one's a cool one. We also have mugs, and we have other stuff too.
We have stickers and cell phone covers and all the stuff that you need to make your life feel more fulfilled and gratifying. We got you covered, fam.
We got you covered.
Awesome.
Everything's in the links down below. We got the shop because we do have a new shop that I did not put on the website yet.
It's a little shop of horrors.
No,
wait, wrong movie.
Something, yeah. We got a TeePublic shop now, as well as a Teespring shop. You can find the Teespring shop at InsideTheBoothTV.com, and the TeePublic, just scroll down, go into the it's not a comment section.
The description box.
Description box. That's right.
Dan, are you new to
YouTube?
Description box.
Now. Also in the description box, you'll find Dreaming Tabitha stuff, Aedo stuff, and all our guest stuff.
Yes,
Speaking of guests, let's bring them on.
Yes.
We have with us tonight.
Don't forget to use their superhero names, Dan.
The
We have BMO.
Market Outpost. BMO.
BMO.
No, that way.
That way, that's right. We also, what's up, Dennis?
How are you guys doing?
Good. We also got Cap.
We've got the Cap.
Captain.
The Cap.
Now, are you like? It's got to be.
Hello.
Also
Captain
known as
Obvious,
America's
right?
backside, but we'll go with Cap.
America's backside. Yeah, that's right.
Do you want me to turn around?
No, thanks.
Right? Display in full glory. How you got the name?
And then we also have Fate. Welcome.
Fate.
Amen, Fate. All right. So we are all here.
The gang's all here.
The gang is here. And for those of you who said hello, we got Avery Cruz giving out wing hugs.
Hey, Avery.
Giving out wing hugs.
Oh, never done it before.
Yeah, grab the side.
Yep. Gotta remember, you pretend they're wings. You gotta go. Whoosh,
You gotta roll that. You gotta roll it.
And then you bring in your hands as the tips of the wings.
I feel like Dan's been practicing somewhere at
In the
some
mirror.
point.
That's right.
He's got that down to like the science, like his elbows come up,
Yeah, you go to the bathroom. In the bathroom in front of the mirror.
Yeah.
We got Mrs. R2 the Icky.
Yeah.
We got
Virtual dance band.
we got BC Morin, Aedo's wife. What's up? We got Phil TMNT. What's up, Phil? We also got the Outer Rim.
Yeah. Hello. Oh, he says
What's
stuff
up?
to Aedo.
Stuff
Hey,
Fine.
me.
Be that way.
Hey, me. He's awesome.
Then we also have R2 on here. He doesn't say hi. He just puts up links to things to go check
R2.
out.
We appreciate.
So what's up,
R2's
R2?
work.
What's up, R2?
That's right. We got CG Artist. Ron, what's up?
Ron.
The man, the legend.
That's right. And
Tony.
Tony.
Hello.
What's up, Tony?
Hello.
So far, that's who said hello and everything.
And we're all glad that you're here. Some more than others, but we won't call out names.
That's right. And then we have Rare Blend. So welcome. Thank you. Good evening from Frosty, Florida. Ooh, you're from Frosty, Florida. Aedo, you're from regular Florida, right?
Yeah, I'm
The
from
not so
sweating.
frosty.
Yeah, not so frosty, Florida.
So
Sweat your life out, Florida. That's where I'm at.
So Rare Blend must be more northern Florida by Georgia-ish area.
Probably closer to. I'm in Jacksonville, so I'm not that far away from Georgia either. But if I was down in Miami, I'd be hating life right now.
You'd be hating life?
Oh, the close. Yeah, the further you go down, the hotter it gets.
Right.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up, right? If you go down,
That's true.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
Same in Arizona. Further you go down.
Science Fictionary.
Yeah, that's right.
Hello,
Science
hello.
Fictionary. What's up? What's up?
Hey.
Oh, he says he's in Orlando. Rare Blend says.
He's
32
good.
degrees.
Yeah, he's good. He's here up here close to me. 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I used to live in Orlando. I'm sad I left. But here we are.
Dan never misses a chance to tell us.
That's right. I never miss a chance to say.
Didn't you literally say the same thing on our last episode?
I think I did. I probably did. I used to live there, everybody.
That could be your next T-shirt.
Yeah, I used to live in Orlando.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's familiar with the video game Skyrim, but there was that meme that went around as I used to be an adventurer once till I took an arrow to the knee. I don't know if anybody's ever heard that. It was really big in the internet. Yeah. That's Dan.
That's
I
me.
used to live in Florida until he took an arrow to the knee.
That's all.
Oh man. Yep.
So Dan, what are we doing?
I remember when.
I'm sorry. I thought you were
Oh,
pausing.
I was just gonna talk about when I was in Orlando. I remember when downtown Disney was downtown Disney, and they did not have that huge parking lot that they have now. It was just that flat thing. You had to park. It was a madhouse parking, but it was fun. It was fun to do. And then they started the build of Disney Springs and changing the name, and I was like, oh, sad days.
I'll be in Orlando in March, so I'll give you a shout out from because I'm gonna do some recording over there too.
Oh, there you go. Sweet.
It'll be fun.
Cool.
Just send him one of those stickers and he can stick it somewhere and then he'll be back in Orlando.
That's right.
That's right. On like all these posts everywhere on Disney and Road Disney will be wandering around and be like, that's Dan.
He'll get a call from Disney.
There you go.
Yeah,
You're not the
law, gentlemen.
Yeah. You broke the law.
Yeah.
I am the law.
It's like, don't mess with me. I am the law.
I am the law, everybody.
Yeah, Tony will be there too. We're gonna be hooking up together.
Oh, sweet! You guys gonna make a video together?
We're gonna be we're gonna hit probably about 2 together. We're in Galaxy's Edge, so it's gonna be fun.
That sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that sounds like fun. So tonight, I guess we're gonna be talking about our favorite superheroes, what's good, what's bad about them, and then we'll get into a little bit of that Book of Boba Fett stuff. For those of you,
Boba Fett, where?
Boba Fett.
That's the redneck edition. Boba Fett.
I mean, some people call him Boba Fett, right? Boba Fett instead of Bubba Fett. So I mean,
because his name is
the real way?
Boba. It's the sketch pad of Bubba Fett.
Bubba.
The sketch pad of Boba Fett. I like it. Oh my gosh.
What did Rare Blend say? Took what to the knee? I used to live in Orlando, so I took
an orange to the knee.
Nice. Okay, well, that brings up a story. Do you guys remember back
when he was living in Florida?
Was this Orlando? But do you remember that story that there was like this fake gun shooting that happened in Disney Springs, downtown Disney? Does anybody remember that? What year was it? Oh gosh, I think it was.
I need details, Dan.
16.
Fake shooting in Florida happens all the time.
16, I think it was. But it was in Disney Springs itself.
Oh.
But it really wasn't a gun shooting. But everybody was running like it was. And man, there was like this. It was weird. And I was with my big friend, he was freaked out, and
Well,
then
what
I was like,
happened?
I don't
Somebody
know.
hit you with an orange?
No, it was like in a restaurant. This drunk guy got in a fight with the waitress or something, and started
Oh.
slamming chairs and tables, and everybody thought it sounded like a gunshot, so they all got up and ran out.
Obviously, they'd never heard a gunshot
it's because
before.
they didn't right. They didn't hear a gunshot before,
It's a very
and
distinct
they probably
sound.
didn't want to pay their bill, so they just got up and ran out.
Pretty much.
Ah! And everybody's screaming and yelling, and there's this flood of people coming
I
at us.
mean,
And I'm
if
like,
you
what the heck is
create
going on?
chaos, that is one way to avoid certain circumstances.
Right.
Just create a new one.
That's right. That was crazy.
Sure.
Orlando.
Yep. Orlando is
God
crazy.
bless us.
Tony says Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
That's
Well,
Because he was in the Sarlacc pit. He came out chunky. We'll talk about that later.
we'll talk about that later. Dan, who do you want to go first about their favorite superhero?
Let's
Russian roulette.
go,
Just close your eyes and point at the screen.
let's just go from underneath me. We'll start with Fate,
Oh, sounds good.
and then
Oh,
we'll
wow.
work our way. Then we'll work our way that way to Cap, then Dennis, then back up, then back this way. There we go.
I guess like probably Christopher Reeve's Superman was the first thing I saw, but the first comic book I ever bought was Wolverine. I'm a type of guy that doesn't like to pick favorites, and I don't like doing scales of 1 to 10 because I change, you know.
Right.
So
Oh, that's okay.
I really
can
like
change.
melee scrappers, so I like Batman. I like Justice League Batman. I have a saying, I don't know if I picked it up from somewhere, but it's he stands up to gods and he stands next to gods, and that's just the way, you know, he's just awesome like that. He's a human, you know. So he's also always has that trump card. I like trump card characters. But yeah, Blade, Wolverine, Batman, Daredevil, Deadpool. I like the melee guys, but I would probably say on the DC side be Batman and the Marvel side be Wolverine.
Sweet.
Not a single one for me.
Nice.
Yeah, there are a lot of them. It's hard
There
to
are.
choose.
There are. Is there any others that you particularly like after them?
I
Let's
love
say-
Rogue.
Yeah, who's that?
Rogue.
Okay,
Rogue.
Rogue. Okay.
Yeah, I
She
love
seems
Rogue.
to be a fan favorite, I've noticed.
Yeah, she is.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so did you like what they did to Rogue in the X-Men 1999 movie or 2000 movie, whenever it came out?
I mean, it was all right.
Or are you more of a fan of like the comic / cartoon Rogue? The one who
Yeah, I
has
mean that's
flying
what
powers
that's
and-
when I started buying. I was buying Chris Claremont X-Men and stuff like that, and I was just used to that type of Rogue. You know, the like the X-Men cartoon in the 90s.
Okay.
I really felt like she didn't do enough in the movies.
Right.
She was more hands-on. She was really getting in there and putting in work. I mean, she actually used her abilities a lot more in the comics and stuff like that. I mean, she knew what she was doing. She would take someone's power over here, someone's power over there, put it together.
Yeah.
It was just awesome. I mean, she really lived up to her name. You know,
From what I
it's-
understand, that they basically switched her and Jubilee's character essentially. They left her with her powers, but basically, like the whole premise, they kind of switched it around to Jubilee. Because I remember when we were I was watching the cartoon the other week, and I was like, "This story sounds like Rogue from the X-Men." Because I didn't grow up with the X-Men, and so I'm still pretty fresh to a lot of the lore. And so I saw the movie, and I'm like, "Oh, this is great! I really like it." And then when I watched the cartoons to do some research, and everybody's talking about Rogue, and I'm like, Jubilee is basically Rogue in the movies, or however you want to switch that. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I bet there were quite a few upset fans when they did that little switcheroo there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you think it helped the movie? Do you think it made
No.
sense?
I think those movies are great.
Mhm.
I think standalone, those are great movies. I never really even thought about Rogue in those movies to the extent of I think I wanted her to do more, but I never really sit down and thought about it too much. I thought what they did with her was all right. I mean, she was kind of key to the first movie.
Mhm.
So
I was always ashamed that they didn't do the love connection between her and Gambit. That was always
Yeah.
a good one. And
Yeah, we never really got a Gambit, did we?
No.
Yeah, he's a pretty
because
cool
they were
character.
because he was so powerful, and she was like, because she didn't want to take his power, because you know what I mean. So like,
Remy.
she was she was just all about him, and they were perfect. So
And then
I
the
think,
Origins of Wolverine came out, and we got to see a little bit of Gambit.
that's not Gambit.
That
No,
wasn't really
no,
Gambit.
don't say that.
Did you not like him? What is his name? Tyler or Kish or something like that? Did you not like him as
I like that
Gambit?
actor, but I didn't like his Gambit.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean, he probably could have played a better Gambit if it was written better, but
Maybe. I always thought
I-
like Keanu would have been a good Gambit. But
Oh, yeah.
would have been a better Gambit. Yeah,
he's too big.
yeah, but he's too big.
Too
of
big
a
of a
name.
star.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I guess next, Cap.
All right.
I'm going to
next,
assume who your favorite superhero is, but please go ahead and tell us.
I'm kind of like Fate. Like I have a lot of favorites. Like when I was a kid, I was really a big fan of Batman, because it was the very first movie I saw in the movie theaters. Was the 89 Batman.
89. Yeah.
Yeah, my father snuck me out of kindergarten and took me to that movie. So it was
It's a
pretty fun.
pivotal movie.
Yeah.
Pivotal movie.
Yeah. So I was a real big fan of Batman, and then I didn't really become a fan of Captain America until literally probably the early 2000s, when I just started getting more into reading others than just besides Batman and other comics. So I just started reading more of the Marvel stuff, and I just the way he always.
So you used to be a bigger DC fan than Marvel. Is that what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I started reading more Marvel stuff, and then I was like, well, Cap, he kind of got pushed out of a world that he knew, and then came back into a world that he had to really relearn and kind of see if his moral values went with the world that he's in now. And the movies, the Captain America movie, I think really played that really well.
Yeah.
Because he was so lost. You can tell when he got dropped in, like in the first Avengers, he was kind of like, what? Where am I? And it would be like if you were, in the 40s, and you skipped all of that, and then all of a sudden now you're in downtown New York. Like how crazy would that have been to someone to see all that?
Yeah.
Is it just me, or is Captain America First Avenger, does it just age like fine wine, or what? I mean,
Oh yeah,
That
It's
is
a-
a good movie. Yeah.
my favorite of the three would be Winter Soldier. That's when he really like kind of becomes like the Captain America that we kind of heard about.
I really
Yeah.
don't like that movie. Like everybody loves
What?
that movie, and I just
That
think it's
intro
my
scene on the boat.
I think
favorite.
I
I
like
get
the first
Yeah.
movie best.
chills are just.
I don't like that one.
the boarding.
Yeah,
Did
when
you
he
ever see
jumps on
that Captain America movie back in when did they make that? Back in the 80s? Maybe a little bit
I've seen
earlier?
some of them. Yeah.
There you go.
They
That
also
was
made
my first Captain America movie I ever saw.
okay. I recently watched some
That's
old
because of my brother.
from 1945. They were cereals. It was a Captain America cereal that he was different. He wasn't frozen. He was just a DA, and he decided to become a superhero. And he wasn't like super powered or anything like that. He was just.
I wonder if
like,
one day I'll just wake up and decide I want to be a superhero.
Yeah, it's like in the 40s they couldn't like really explain, injections, and we're just
Right.
gonna make him a DA and secretly fight people as Captain.
It was 1979 that movie came out.
Yeah.
Captain America.
Yeah.
I thought it was 80, but it's 79.
So yeah, he is one of my favorites, and like I said, Batman is just like what Fate said. Just I always thought he was very. I just thought he was cool because he was just dark, and he didn't really. He just always went out and tried to take care of everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's it. Well, that's probably why I like Batman too.
Hang on, Dan. Calm down. It's Dennis's turn. Give BMO a chance, man.
Okay. Yes, Dennis, your turn.
Go for it, Dan. Take it. It's your show.
Let's go back to Orlando.
Look at
Yeah.
that. Go back to Orlando. I got a little squishy Batman.
Oh, it's-
How's that?
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Is that like a bath toy?
I don't know. It's like one of those stress ball things. where you
There it
squeeze
is.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah,
I want to.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I mean, I think I'm probably a lot older than you guys, so it goes way back to Saturday morning cartoons with Super Friends,
Oh yeah,
right?
I was there.
A lot of that stuff people don't even know about nowadays. The Wonder Twins, Apache Chief. I mean, those are all like, right? Those were the people.
Yeah.
And I got to agree. I'm all about the superhero without superpowers. That's like my thing. Like my all-time favorite would probably be Green Arrow.
Oh.
Like I was a
Yeah.
major fan of the Arrowverse. I liked all of that. I think they got a little bit carried away and put too much out there at once at some point. But the beginning stages of that with
Oh
I
yeah,
love
some
that
of the
show.
Arrow, Flash,
Yeah.
it was great. It was great.
I like
Like-
that show. It was good.
Did you
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Aquaman in that one? The blonde hair Aquaman with the
Yeah.
weird looking costume.
Oh yeah,
Come on,
that's
they're all
that
weird
is-
looking costumes
that's
at that time.
that's not the blonde hair looking Aquaman. That is Aquaman. The guy you guys see today is not.
There you
Nah.
If
go.
you go out, if
There
you
you
go out
go.
through all of history of Aquaman, that is the look all the way up until
That's right.
within the last 15 or 20 years.
Mhm.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that is the look.
That's true.
See,
They
and
tried
like
bringing some of
the
that
modern-
costume
the-
back. but
yeah, the
they
modern
didn't.
Aquaman movie, I absolutely hated that. I mean, the CGI is just over the top ridiculous.
Oh,
I
and the
like
most
that
recent
first
one?
Yeah,
Oh,
too
I-
much, just too much.
Well, it's no Green Lantern, but yeah.
Too much.
I did like it, I have to say.
Phil says he likes the Green Arrow too. He
Yeah,
loves
Green
it.
Arrow's awesome. The first few seasons for sure, and man, when it first came out, it came out swinging. It had some of the best martial
Oh,
arts
yeah.
fight choreography
Right?
on any television show that I've ever seen.
Oh
And it
yeah.
had, and it
It's
had
been
that,
outdone. It's been outdone since, but
yeah,
yeah,
it had that dark feel to it, and it was like
sure.
very mysterious, very like
The
what's going
flashbacks
on.
were
Yeah,
flashbacks
the
were
flashbacks
entertaining.
were amazing.
Yeah.
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 I loved when he did the what is that? The ladder when he's going up.
Oh, the
Yes.
salmon ring.
salmon ladder, yeah.
Salmon ladder, yeah.
Salmon ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't try that at home.
Mm.
Yeah, that was fun.
But yeah,
Good
like Dan had mentioned too, that year, Dan, like I think it was 78 through 80, Marvel did all the live action that you see now. Like you had Incredible Hulk, the TV series,
Yeah.
which guest starred Thor a handful of times. Then you had I think there was 3 of those Spider-Man movies
Mm.
Yeah.
from 78 through 80. And I believe the Captain America movie was 79. Super cheesy, but those were all like the movies then. I mean,
Right.
compared to today, there's no
Yeah.
comparison, but I mean,
But
they
there
were wearing,
seems that there is a comparison because the more I talk to people, the more I meet people. We've got the crazy, amazing stunts, and yeah, the CGI is phenomenal, and the suits look cool. But somehow people are still drawn, I think, to the pureness of the original characters.
Yeah, I mean,
as
I can
great
see
and
that.
cool as these people
Right.
are, people are always going to be talking about Linda Carter and Christopher Reeve.
right. I mean, that
Christopher
goes back.
Reeve. Yeah.
That all goes back to the same time frame, right? That's all between 77 and I think Wonder Woman ended in 82, I believe was the last one, or 81 was the last season.
Mhm.
But I mean,
I
feel like those
Ferrigno.
superheroes, Lou Ferrigno, right? I feel like those superheroes back in that time were more, I don't know what the word is. I don't know if it's realistic or more believable or
Relatable. Probably.
relatable. There you go. More relatable
I think all three.
than the stuff you see now.
They're grounded and also the fundamental issue is morals.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Because
agree with
I
that.
think they knew that they were, even though it wasn't exactly kids shows at the time. Of course, nowadays it would
Yeah.
be.
So,
Um, Oh, I didn't know they made a Spider-Man show. I think it was still like they were wholesome. They were interesting enough for adults, but they were wholesome for kids because these were superheroes. These were the people that we were supposed to look up to as kids and be like, kind of like Mr. T from the A-Team there, right? Like all the kids gravitated to Mr. T, even though he was tough and he was kind of mean, but it was like.
Right.
I remember one episode he'd be like, "That's right, Tommy. You drink your milk so you can grow big and strong like me one day." And it wasn't a kids show, but these were like heroes that we needed.
Relatable. They're realistic. I mean,
who liked MacGyver?
Yeah,
I don't think I like an
MacGyver.
episode of MacGyver, but I know about it.
Yeah,
I was a big fan of Magnum PI. Is he a superhero? I mean.
Yeah,
I guess it depends.
might as well
I was
be,
wondering
right?
what everybody was going to say about superheroes. I was like, are they going to throw in, anybody from Star Wars and stuff? Just
technically, minus the gadgets, he would be Batman, right?
That's true.
Private Eye, detective,
Little Short.
Yeah, Little Short.
Oh my god.
Lassie.
Flipper.
Oh my gosh, Lassie.
I'll tell you guys a funny story. I literally grew up probably 6 miles away from the Flipper stage set, like where they filmed it.
Oh, nice.
That's cool. We used to go there all the time and sneak through the fence.
There you go.
Knight Rider.
Yeah. The cabin was fake, in case anybody's wondering. We used to sneak through the fence and get in there all the time. It was just a big empty room.
That's fun. Yeah, they always. Well, yeah, that's true. They would film the outside part, and then the inside part would be in the studio.
Studio setting. Yeah, because the outside part is actually attached to the Miami Seaquarium.
Mm-hmm.
It was
good to know.
Well,
just want to say hello to Uncle Mike. Uncle Mike, thanks for joining us. Finally.
Maybe.
Is your mom still watching?
Automan,
Airwolf.
Airwolf, yeah.
There's one called
Great
Manimal.
intro. Yeah, Airwolf, great intro.
Well, it's time for Pepe Le Pew, I think. Oh, he changed his name. Never mind.
Do it.
He changed it back.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna take you back in a little bit of history and then bring it back forward. When I was a kid, Blue Falcon and Wonder Dog.
Yes.
From Hanna-Barbera.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
What would they call it? Dynamite, right?
Yep,
yeah, I loved it when I was little. Okay, you're gonna laugh at this one, Captain Caveman.
Captain Caveman.
Is that what inspired your beard?
Yeah, I loved them. I loved them. I used to love them. And then as we move forward, most of you guys won't know this. Great American Hero.
Yeah.
Look it up. If you don't know
American Hero.
He couldn't land.
He couldn't land. He couldn't fly, man. He was just hitting billboards and walls and the whole nine. Then you transition to the modern times, and obviously I'm a Batman guy. Love Batman. And then when Deadpool came out, he's my alter ego. What I want to say, but I can't. He does it for me. So if I can get Batman and Deadpool and smash them together, that's my that's the guy for me right there.
Yeah.
Batpool. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Dead Man isn't quite as catchy.
Yeah.
It's also another hero.
Yeah, and Batman, because the fact that he doesn't have any superpowers. He's loaded with money, right? But he goes and fights these little G's and with no fear, and doesn't know. You don't know if he's going to come out of it alive or not. He doesn't even know it, And then he has the moral standard that he's not going to kill anybody. He's going to injure them, but he won't kill anyone.
Right.
Right.
And the fact that he goes up against these massive forces of mutated superheroes without fear. I love that about him.
Yeah.
Him and Spider-Man have a similar. I know he has powers, but they have similar, like, really rogue gallery bad guys. Like, where, how do you face these people?
Yeah. Well, at least with Spider-Man, he could take a massive hit. Where Batman, he comes out just broken ribs and bruised to death and near death. He's gonna need that thing in Boba Fett.
The back to tank.
To heal himself.
Have you ever noticed how he takes everything out on Alfred Like he's always telling him.
Well, you always hurt the ones you love the most, right? Isn't that?
Yep.
It's pretty much he exhausts on Alfred is pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Alfred didn't take him out. Like poison his tea or something, Here, have this. Die, bat.
I'm sure it's crossed his mind a couple of times. Can't tell me, does it?
I was
Hong Kong Phooey.
Hong Kong Phooey.
That's a
I
great
love
one.
it.
Yes.
That was a
Hong Kong
great show.
Phooey.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I always like that the Batman where was it the 1960 Batman where he's with Robin.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
TV
those guys
series.
TV
Yeah.
series, yeah. The movie too, wasn't there? There was a movie.
Yeah, the TV movie based on
That's
I always thought that was
When you had the $6 million man, you guys remember that one? He was
Yeah.
he was robotic.
right.
He's cheap nowadays.
Oh, at least I love that song.
$6 million nowadays is a standard medical bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Why not?
I always thought that was a fun show, the Batman.
I think that was. I think the movie was 1966.
Yes.
Yeah. With
Because the series was. People think it's like it went on forever, but I think it's only 2 seasons.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Star Trek. It's
Yeah,
so short.
they just repeat the same thing, a million times for the past 50 years. But it's only. I think it's only 2 seasons long, and then the 2-hour movie.
I think the next best TV show though for Batman was the animated series. As a kid, that was
Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah.
animated series was awesome. Yeah.
Avery, you're awesome. She put Mighty Mouse. I forgot about Mighty Mouse.
Oh, right.
That's
Here
right.
I come
Oh,
to save the day.
Crazy.
Loved Mighty Mouse.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mighty Mouse. Yep.
Gosh. It's funny. I remember all of these cartoons, and I know they were before my time, but that's what I grew up with too. I mean, Woody Woodpecker and all that
But
stuff.
yeah, I mean they play it on and on forever.
West
Underdog, Mighty Mouse. There was that detective,
Underdog. Yep.
the Detective Mouse, whatever. I can't remember him and his mole friend. I don't remember them, but
Oh.
Danger Mouse. That's
Danger
right,
Mouse, yeah.
Danger Mouse.
Yeah. He was kind of like James Bond.
Right. God, there was a ton. Inch High Private Eye.
You need to do a whole another live stream about cartoons, Dan.
Oh yeah,
should.
classic cartoons.
Start bringing
Yeah.
out He-Man.
Yeah.
Start
Man,
bringing out
because we went
Thundercats.
from DC and Marvel to all the way back to the old days,
That's
you know.
right.
Yeah.
It's like,
I
oh,
love
I
it.
love that
Thundercats.
one.
Thundercats. Oh.
DC Marvel,
Yeah.
what? Whatever. Give me the other one.
I know.
Give me
I was wondering if it was going to expand outside of the DC Marvel universe because there are so many.
Someone
And,
mentioned Tom Selleck, and I almost mentioned Quigley Down Under. I was just like
Tom
really
Selleck.
going.
good movie.
There you go.
I have to agree with Aedo and the others.
Inspector
Like for me,
Gadget.
growing up, Inspector Gadget.
That's right.
Silverhawks.
But
Oh, the
I
Silverhawks are my
love
favorite.
Batman. Like he has always been my favorite superhero, even when I was growing up. There was just something about him. It was just cool. And I think like kind of like you guys were saying, it's like there was something mysterious about him because he didn't have superpowers, yet he was able to take on all of these horrible people. And it was just, there was an intrigue. It was almost like there was a little bit of mystery along with it. It wasn't just kick butt and all this kind of stuff. There was because he was a very thoughtful person. He considered all the angles of the situation and the circumstances that he would get in, which is like they say, he's the ultimate Boy Scout. He's always prepared. And that's why he was able to defeat, and fight people like Superman and stuff like that, which I mean, that's a great accomplishment. I'm really sad with what they're doing with Batman these days. He just seems to be very moody, very gothic, very whiny. Like somebody just needs to hug that man and let him cry it out. And I hate that they've turned my favorite superhero into a whiny butt.
Listen, wear a rubber suit for 8 hours or 9 hours.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Marinate in that.
The rest of them can do it and they're not crying. But for some reason, they've decided to take him on this psychological journey.
Why did you say
Oh my God.
that name?
I was so mad in the movie theater. So mad. I'm like, like that meme of that one girl. But so he was I loved him in Mask of the Phantasm. Like that's where I think I really fell in love with Batman and just thought he was so cool. I like that style, and I just liked his suit and everything. I really like
the
that.
animation series. Yeah,
that was my favorite growing up. Although I was a huge JLA fan and like Super Friends. Like, yeah, I love that, and which led me to actually like Aquaman. I really like the original Aquaman. I think the new Aquaman's cool in the same way that all the new superheroes are cool, but they'll never be those original characters that, you know, we fell in love with. And he's kind of covered up, but I have my own rendition of Aquaman back there because I think he's an underrated character. I thought he was cool. I don't know why he gets such a bad rap for whatever reason. But I'm going to throw
fish.
Smell like fish. I'm going to throw this out there and see if anybody remembers Space Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love Space Ghost, especially when they did the sideshow where he was really goofy. But I liked him.
Oh, God.
I love Space Ghost.
Was it Comedy Central who did the Space Ghost talk show where he was like
Space Ghost Coast to Coast?
Yeah.
But there was that other one, and I can't remember what it was called, where they would do Zorak's helpful hints and Poetry Corner and driving my big old truck, you know.
Right.
I love that. We annoy my mom the crap out of her with the songs that they were doing, you know. They're just I love bracking that. But also Birdman. Did everybody watch
Birdman?
Birdman. I thought that was cool. Birdman. And last but not least, I throw it out there since we're Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck. There you go. DuckTales.
Well, that was different.
Yeah.
Well, they're in the same universe.
Right, that's true. They were family, I think, weren't they? Somehow, all those ducks were related in some way. Like, I don't know how many nieces and nephews Scrooge McDuck has, because I think wasn't Darkwing one of his nephews too? Like,
I think so, something like that. Yeah.
He must have had 12 brothers and sisters. But
sketchy.
Sketchy guy. A cartoon stream. Maybe
But those would be my top.
Maybe we'll have Sketchy Guy on if we do a cartoon stream.
There's just so many. I didn't get into the Marvel universe until later on. So I grew up with DC. Although I have to say I loved X-Force more than I enjoyed X-Men when I was younger. I still have the comic books. Like, I really enjoyed X-Force.
Right. X-Force.
So that's probably my first introduction to Marvel. And I didn't know it at the time.
Attorney at Law was a great show. Did you watch that one?
What was it?
Yeah. Birdman, the Attorney at Law. That was when they made. So Harvey they took Birdman.
Yes.
And then they did the same thing with Space Ghost and made a spoof of him, and it was Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, and he was like a lawyer.
He was a lawyer.
Wings.
I don't think I saw that. I thought you just said Birdman. I'm like, but then I don't think I've ever seen.
No, so if you like Birdman, you got to go watch Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law.
I'm gonna type that in, so that way I don't forget it. There it is.
Can do that.
Oh yeah, it's just like Space Ghost Coast to Coast, but he's set in like a lawyer. He goes to trial and all that things.
Oh my goodness, that's great.
God, bring back like a ton of memories now.
Hey, we have to do a nostalgia show one day.
There's a Fantasy Island episode wrapped around Birdman. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
One of the people who come to the island's fantasy is to become Birdman. So they build him a bird cave with a big nest in it and all that weird stuff.
Build him a bird cave.
Yeah. like a bat cave version, but it's a bird's nest, giant bird's nest.
All right, Dan, your turn.
Oh, my turn?
Yeah,
your turn, man.
Man, I guess
you're allowed to go. Go ahead. Hurry up, Dan. Faster. Let's go. Time is money.
All right, so for DC, I guess it would be more like, I liked, when I was a kid, I liked Batman and Flash. They were like my favorites in DC. Flash, I think it was because he just ran fast, and even my kids nowadays, they have this weird thing about being fast. Look, I'm the fastest. Whee! They run, Look, I'm like Flash, and I'm like, yep, that was me. Yep, I did the same thing. So that's for DC. Obviously, my brother likes Superman. For those who did not see that show.
So Dan, when you were little, you ran around in your underoos like Flash.
That's right. That's right. I would put the underoos over top.
Red
of
long
my
johns.
pants. That's right.
I used to tell Elise, I used to get the towel and tie it around your neck and be Superman
there
or
you
Batman.
go, like
I
just like
remember those
Superman.
days.
Yep.
You get new shoes and you can run faster.
Yeah.
Jump higher.
Yeah. We need new shoes, Mom. Yep.
Hold on, I gotta pump them. You know,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yep.
Hold on,
yeah.
guys. I gotta pump up.
I'm out.
Didn't they have Air Jordans that
All right,
did
time
that?
in.
I
Yeah.
remember when that came out. It sounded like
Yep.
the stupidest thing. Like,
We had kangaroos with the
That's right.
zipper.
Time out, bad guys.
The Reebok pump.
That's right.
Yep.
I think they
Wow.
created that.
I couldn't convince my mom enough to buy those. So like,
I can see why. What a gimmick! It's great though. I mean, people bought them.
Let's see here.
Dude, I
Someone
used to
asked
go
me
to
which
school with my
Flash-
metal
Okay.
lunchbox superheroes. You had that, Dan?
mhm.
The lunch boxes, yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah,
Superhero
you had to have
lunchboxes.
those. You had to have superhero lunch boxes or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones.
Yeah.
You know, just because that was the thing to do. You know, even if there wasn't lunch in it because you got the school lunches, you still had to bring it with you. But yeah, which Flash was my favorite? I can't recall. It was, I don't know. It was like a movie that I watched, a Flash movie back in the old days there, and I was like, yeah, Flash. So I
Didn't
I
the
don't,
Flash from the old movies go into Arrowverse? Didn't he like show up?
Oh,
He did.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
So was it Flash from the 90s? Series?
Yes.
The
I
90s
think
series?
so. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I thought even the one with the hat, the one with the, didn't he even show up in the Arrowverse?
I
He
don't
does.
remember.
Okay.
It sounds
He's also well, he's not officially there yet, but he should be showing up in the new season of Stargirl as well, because he's part of that old Justice Society with the tin hard hat with the wings on
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
With the wings, yeah.
Yeah. Jay Garrison.
Yes. Yeah.
Jay Garrison.
How about
Sorry,
Flash
Dan.
Gordon back in the 1980s?
I've never seen.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
heard about
Never
it.
seen it?
That is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Dun, dun,
Brian,
dun.
Brian Blessed.
Yeah.
Hawkman.
Yeah.
That was
It is
one of the
the-
first movies I seen in the theater.
I
It is
like
the
I like the
greatest-
Lone Ranger.
It is the greatest, cheesiest movie of all time.
Flash
The
Gordon.
Flash.
Gordon.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, did
I
you
love
say
it.
I liked Plastic Man? That was really silly episodes. They were fun to watch. Did anybody watch Plastic Man?
Oh yeah.
No, I don't think I've
He was
heard
a
of
weird costume, though. They could have tried a little
Oh,
harder with
okay,
him, I
yes.
think, though. He
Yeah,
was
right.
weird.
We
Yeah,
totally
Plastic.
forgot Captain Planet. We talked about Captain.
That's
yeah.
right.
Oh,
Captain
that's
Planet.
right.
I watched that
Planet.
all the time as a kid. All the time.
There was Captain Planet. That's right. That's right.
Oh my
I
god.
like Power Rangers. Does anybody like Power Rangers?
I wasn't allowed to watch
Yeah,
Power Rangers growing up,
yes.
so I don't really
I
know
liked
anything.
the first season, I think, before they started changing them.
Oh
Their
yeah,
look,
yeah.
you know?
I was out after the first season.
Yeah.
I would watch SPD with my kid, Power Rangers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. He
Look
had
at
his
my
little
brother's
costume. and
I was a
My
Turtles
brother's
kid.
here.
so,
He says 1990 Flash. Did you know Mark Hamill is the trickster?
he was.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
He's also the voice of the Joker in all the animated
Joker.
series.
that's
Yeah.
right. He is. He's a
Yeah.
good Joker, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Man of many talents. Does
Steve says he
anybody
likes
have
the
a
Joker.
least favorite superhero character? Just curious. We've talked about a bajillion and two
Green
of
Lantern.
our favorite. You mean like
Not
the
the
original
movie?
or just the movie? Like the character altogether you don't like, or
Yeah, he just
Least
sucks.
Favorite.
really? I did
He's
like
He's
Green
horrible,
Lantern.
man.
Least favorite. That's a great question.
Little ring.
We I believe that we're getting a Green Lantern in the Stargirl series this coming season as well. And I think it's going to be John Diggle from
Oh, really?
Arrow.
Really?
Maybe.
If you were, I don't know if you guys watch it or
movie.
not, but in the
Yeah.
very last episode, season finale of Arrow, he finds the ring in a field. And then it just ends. The show ends on that note.
No.
Okay,
I
that's
didn't
pretty
get to
cool.
that
Nice
one.
cliffhanger. I
Season
was
finale.
really
That was 2-3
I
years
was
ago
really
now,
into
almost.
Arrow until it just started getting to become a soap opera with all the guy and girl swapping, and I can't
Yeah.
handle that. Like, I'm sorry, I don't care how much I love the show. I'm out. I'm
You don't
tapping
love
out.
Right.
soaps? Come on, who doesn't love the
No.
soaps?
Like, it was like,
Like,
oh, he should be with
afternoon.
Felicity. Oh, he should be with the other girl. Oh no, suddenly there's a third woman in the world, and I'm like, you
No,
know
no.
what?
It's
I'm
actually
done.
called
Right.
it's actually called a superhero novella.
Yes.
Well,
Novella.
Novella.
I was saying goodbye. I didn't finish that, even though it irritated me so badly because I really liked that show. But I was like, I'm not doing this. I just can't. I don't
Yeah.
have much of a tolerance for that. So I was like, I'm gone. But that's really neat. What a nice cliffhanger just to leave the ring just out there and
Yeah, so
end it like that. That's pretty cool.
it's, I mean, well, I guess they allude to it because he like takes a knee out in this field and opens up the box and it's just a big green light flashing out of it.
Oh.
So they're alluding to
Carrying a lantern.
John
Right, the
Diggle
lantern.
becoming
I
Green
will
Lantern.
admit, the lantern carrying the lantern around, Aedo, I will agree, is weird.
Well,
It is weird. I mean, but I think I liked Green Lantern just as a regular character. Does anybody else? So we know Aedo doesn't like Green Lantern. Does anybody else have a
I would
least
say-
favorite?
Mm.
I would say
Guys,
Aquaman.
Power Rangers in the new
JT,
Bubba.
you're gonna get killed.
That's right.
JT's gonna get killed. He's going Aquaman.
Least favorite.
I mean, I have to
Aquaman.
agree with
I would say Aquaman. Yeah.
Really?
I have to agree with Phil, but only in the MCU. See, I liked Carol Danvers in the comics back in the 90s,
Yeah.
but even when Rogue nailed her, but yeah, I have to agree with him because like she shows up and she's like, I got other planets, and I'm like, she did that in Shang-Chi, so I don't know. She keeps doing
Yeah. Fine. Don't help us. Get out
Yeah.
of here.
that. That's like her new MO. I mean, like it's just how she operates. She's like, I got things to do.
Yeah. Too busy.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I would say in the
Yeah.
MCU, I would say, well, Captain
Well,
Marvel.
Well,
I don't
you
know
do
that much about Captain Marvel. I don't really mean the
You do
movies.
know-
I mean
you
like
do
in
know-
general.
in the
She's
cartoons.
been that character's just been redone so many times.
Yeah, but in the
Yeah.
cartoons, you got to remember, Rogue took Captain Marvel's powers to the point where Captain Marvel, went into a coma and couldn't get her powers back. So, good job, Rogue. I like you.
Oh, man.
But
Anyway, so go ahead. Sorry, I just butted in. My
that's
bad.
okay. I would say Aquaman and then maybe Cyclops. Maybe.
Mm.
Cyclops.
Okay.
Yeah, Cyclops wasn't the best.
I liked
Yeah.
Cyclops. I mean, it wasn't my
he has
favorite.
to push
but
a
I liked
button for the beams to come out. He can't control it with his own brain or something, which is weird. You know?
Yeah, that would have been really cool. I don't know
It
what
So-
it would be better if he would be able
The
to
Yeah.
control
button
it, so.
opens the visor on the glasses.
Yeah.
Right.
Because remember when you take that? Yeah, he's just like.
Because when he takes his glasses
'Cause
off,
without
his
them
eyes
on,
just
yeah.
constantly shoot
They
beams.
exactly.
That would
Yeah.
suck. How do you see anything?
You
Never
don't?
invite him to your house.
Well, you wear sunglasses.
Yeah, he
wear
wears sunglasses. But you would think those sunglasses would just break and beam out too, then, right?
They're
Because
reflect. I don't know. It's
they got to
comic
be
science.
special.
Science.
They're
special
superhero sunglasses, Dan. They're not regular
Right.
sunglasses.
Oh.
Exactly.
just trust the comic book
It's
science.
not real,
Yeah.
Dan. I don't know if you know this or not, but they're not actual people. I'm probably gonna get crucified for this as well. But as far as comics and cartoons are concerned, my least favorite superhero is Wolverine
What is wrong with you?
because
Yeah,
he's a
I already
douchebag
knew
with.
that. I already knew
Because
that.
he is a
That's it,
douchebag
you're outta
with
here.
little man syndrome. But now in the movies, I like Hugh Jackman Jackman as him. But in the cartoons, it's just like he obviously
What if
has
they
like
made
some
him
mommy
cool?
issues or something like that, and he's got to prove to everybody that he's super tough because he's got to get on everybody's nerves, and nobody does that without some kind of problem that they need to
I
deal
mean,
with. Somebody else needs a hug, obviously.
He is like the animal, the Wolverine. They're
right.
just as ornery.
But don't every superhero has mommy and daddy issues. All
This
of
is
them.
true, but
That's
he just
right,
decides
that's
to take it out on everybody that's near and dear to him and just walk around with a big chip on his shoulder. And I just don't do that. I just don't deal with that. Like,
Batman.
Batman wasn't a douchebag though.
Alfred, get in the kitchen.
Yeah, but Batman had
Batman-
issues.
That's because he was a
Batman
servant,
wasn't,
you know?
but Bruce Wayne was, because Bruce Wayne would always try to be the ladies' man. I'm gonna buy this restaurant
To protect his
and-
cover. To protect his cover. Not that I'm necessarily justifying that. I'm sure there's a better, more moral
Defend
way
him,
to do
Tabitha.
that.
Defend him. There you go.
Exactly. But
Maybe.
Just don't mess with my Batman. Aquaman.
I like talking about it.
JT's
I
just
don't
killing
know. I just didn't think a guy that rode on a dolphin was that cool. So.
He could control the sea. He could. I was reading a comic book
He
just the
can
other
talk
day,
to
and
the
he
fish.
was
Duh.
controlling the
Hello,
water.
fish.
And
Help me.
I mean,
You got me,
him and
man.
Little Mermaid. Yeah, I mean, about the same.
Maybe.
I'll never see Aquaman the same way again. That was so good.
well, do you think it's how they portrayed them? Because I mean, if you want to get it down to the nitty gritty, it's like the Flash. He can run really fast. Woo!
But he can change. He
So
can
he's
change
the white
time.
Usain Bolt. Who cares?
So
He can he can change time. He can literally
No, that was
change-
Superman.
No,
No,
Flash
that's-
can run so fast that he can change time.
Oh,
go back
he
in
must
time.
have got he must have got that trick from Superman.
He
Superman.
can,
That's
he
the
can
whole-
slow it down. He can do everything to it.
That's the whole Flashpoint thing. When he gets so fast that he can
Mhm.
change,
Force.
alter, go different multiverses.
And we see how
Nice.
problematic that is. But somebody who can control the dolphins and the sharks and tell them to be friendly to their neighborhood Spider-Man, I think that's pretty nice quality.
what about
No.
what about Robin?
Your local-
Like, what was the
your
point of
local-
Robin?
There you go, Robin. Exactly.
What was the point of Robin?
Holy Colossians,
You know,
Batman!
you need a sidekick. I
Batman
guess.
Batman needed a servant. He just-
That's
He needs a
that's
sidekick.
another reason to complain to Alfred or to get on to Alfred because Alfred's always telling him you need to treat him better, and he's like, "Shut up, Alfred."
You got me the circus kid. Thanks.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Circus freak.
I think he just felt bad. He lost his parents as well.
Okay,
Like-
send it.
Feel bad
Give
for
him some cash. Send him to boarding school. Have a nice day.
That was good.
I love it. That's funny.
Just kicking him out.
Now you got to Now you got to buy him a motorcycle and paint it red and yellow, and then you got to
Dude,
put another seat in the Batmobile, and it just becomes a big hassle. Just becomes
I
a
know
big
first
hassle.
world problems at their finest
Yeah.
for superheroes. Put in another seat.
Maybe that's why they haven't
Right.
put him in the movies. They're just like, it's just
Yeah.
an extra body.
You know, that is
out there.
curious that with all the new Batman movies, there is no Robin. Like, the old movies, it kind of led up to it and they did
Right.
it. Why in the world I'm not saying necessarily that I want a Robin because now then we'll have two people with issues, but I'm kind of surprised with all of the renditions. There is no introduction to
George
Robin. There's not
Clooney's
even
Batman.
a TV show, right? There's not
George
even a
Clooney
TV.
had a
George
Yeah.
Clooney's Batman had a Robin and a Batgirl.
Well, that's what I meant. The old
That's-
ones,
Oh,
like the
okay.
older
Yeah, yeah.
Batman movies,
Well-
they did that, and then they introduced Batgirl. But how come the newer movies aren't doing that? I mean, we're going back and forth with Catwoman all the time for whatever reason.
Yeah.
The Dark
Why
Knight
are-
series, the Dark Knight movie series. At the end, they hinted that I can't remember that actor's name, but
I know,
The
but
one
they
that
never
played
bring him
Jim
out.
Gordon, right? Not
Like, he's never there.
Yeah, Gordon.
they hinted that he
Yeah.
was Robin.
he discovers the Batcave and then it ends on that scene.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he could be like Nightwing, maybe, because
Yeah.
Robin turns into Nightwing.
Right.
Nightwing is cooler than Robin.
I like
Right.
the new Robin. I don't know if the newer Robin, Damian Wayne, which is his son. He's trained.
son.
He's trained ninja and he's
Right.
trained by Bruce. So he comes in. He's got the cowl and or the cloak, the hooded cloak and stuff. But he's got his father's duty, like he honors
Yeah.
duty, like that's his thing. But
His dude.
his duty. He's kind of a punk though. Like he's So a lot of people don't like him, but I do.
Jason Todd was a good Robin.
Yeah.
I like Jason Todd's story as well. So.
Yeah. Jason Todd is the Robin on Titans.
Yes.
Teen Titans, the series.
Yeah, Teen Titans.
That's a pretty good series as well. Now, I mean, we're talking about superheroes.
Do you guys remember when they killed him off in the comic book series, in the comic books, where they killed Robin off, where they said, "Hey," I think it was Tim Drake, and they said in the comic book series, they said, we're gonna do one. You're gonna keep him alive, or we're going to kill him." And everyone voted on it in the comic books. Like there was a thing you sent in a letter. Yeah, right there. Yep. Yeah.
Oh.
So DC was like, okay, whatever you guys pick. And
so they
did
like a fan poll type thing. Okay.
Yeah, and no one liked Tim Drake, so they offed him. So apparently to the writers, it's in that book. They actually talk about it in that reprint right there. Yeah, I have that exact book. So
I remember seeing that in the store.
Aedo's wife says there's supposed to be a Batgirl movie coming out. She's not mistaken.
A Batgirl movie?
Or is it a TV show? I know I've been seeing
I
things
know the
on Twitter.
TV show is supposed to be coming. Yeah, but I don't know about a movie. I do know that the Batgirl TV show did not get good ratings or something, right? And then
Batwoman.
Batwoman.
There was a lot of wokeness apparently in that show.
And are they trying to revamp it, or I mean they canceled it?
It's out now. So what happened with that was the first 2 seasons was I just drew a blank on her name. A cousin of Batman, Kate.
Okay.
Yeah, she
Wayne quit. Kate something. Well, this girl ended up quitting the show. Her name was Ruby something. The actress.
Ruby Rose?
Ruby Rose, I think that's it. Yeah, she ended up quitting the show.
Why'd she quit?
There was she was being
There's too much,
if you will, mistreated or something like that.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. There was a whole big ordeal about it.
So she's been replaced now. I mean, they're going into the second season with the third season with the new Batwoman.
Oh, okay. Is she still a lesbian?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
that's going to be the premise. That's going to be the premise of that show. That's what that show is built on.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Period. Yeah.
That's a bad way to.
That's what it's built on.
Show.
Yeah.
That's the new world.
Representation. No storyline, just as long as we have representation.
Right.
I mean, if it was me, I'd quit just because of that. I'd be like, no, I don't do that homosexual.
Well, Dan, you would make a terrible lesbian. I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, they say I'm a lesbian trapped in a man's body, so you know.
That's something else, Dan. That's something else, Dan.
Wow. Different name. But you know, it's 2022. Run with it. Why not? Right.
That's right. That's right.
Does your wife know that you're a lesbian?
Oh my God.
Trapped in a man's body? Yeah.
What's your superhero suit?
You know.
Where is R2 when we need him? Oh my God. You missed it.
Taking my clothes off is my superhero suit.
Oh,
Honey, I'm coming to bed.
Oh.
Whoa.
Well, that is cheaper. Yeah. It will definitely take all the bad guys by surprise when you show up.
Oh, for sure.
So, Book of Boba Fett.
What about Boba Fett? Dennis is trying not to laugh over
there.
No, Dennis.
Yeah.
If you didn't have a mental visual on that one, oh, gosh. No, not good. Welcome to the show, folks. Welcome to the show.
That's right.
The Book of Fett. Are we going to that one?
DC seems to like to do that kind of stuff in their alternate universes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, where's your super suit?
Woman, where's my super suit? You're wearing your suit.
Where's my super suit?
Speaking of Incredibles, those are good superheroes.
Oh yeah,
Frozone
superhero show. I like it.
Yeah.
Dash.
Yeah.
Definitely was a good cartoon.
Like Frozone, Frozone is 110% copy of Iceman from the old Spider-Man cartoons.
Right.
I think they all are.
Like they just said, okay, we're gonna use this guy, dress him up, let's go.
That's right.
Yeah. I think they're all copies.
Yeah, I mean, you
Really,
can only go so far. If you're gonna have a guy that shoots ice, he shoots ice, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Not much else you can do with him.
Yeah. I think his wife really showed the potential of
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yep.
I leave for 2 minutes.
I'm telling you, missed stuff.
Missed a lot. All right. Anyway, sorry about that. Sorry for butting in.
No, I got it, Phil. Oh, sorry. I was responding. Sorry. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
I lost my train of thought after that one. So.
You were saying something about the wife of.
Oh yeah, Stretch Armstrong or the Stretch. Look, I can't remember her name. What's her?
Elastigirl.
Elastigirl. That's right. Yeah.
She's a really good. They did a good way of showing her powers, and they should have done that with the Fantastic Four with Richards.
Yeah.
They always fail to show how strong he can really be, and in the way they did her in that movie.
Yeah, agree.
Perfect.
They did a great job.
Agree.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, I didn't connect.
That's true.
That was good.
You're right. Fantastic Four wasn't really. So my least favorite probably would be the Fantastic Four.
They have, for some reason, they have tried to make that movie a dozen times, and it's never ever worked in any scenario. Going back to the 80s, they tried to do that.
Yeah,
really?
I remember that.
Never worked.
They could do a hyper development where they did with Spider-Man, Tom Holland, where they could just introduce them as characters in the side. Like
right.
Without doing the entire backstory.
Yeah, it's gonna kind of be bad that we don't have RDJ or whatever to like rub elbows with Reed Richards, right? Hank Pym,
so smart.
The greatest minds in the Marvel universe on the earth. But those characters being like side characters who they approach to get things done or whatever, and then we could have sort of a side moment where that problem happens to them and they're born out of that movie.
Right.
So, I mean, something to that effect. Use it to catapult them out. They did that with the Hulk kind of to refreshen him, and they did that with Spider-Man.
Yeah, you're right, because those first couple of Hulk movies weren't that great either, and then not until they worked him off of Iron Man and all the other stuff is when it finally started to take off.
Yeah, sometimes just use that hyper development and get them out.
Yeah. That'd be a good idea.
Even in the Fantastic Four.
Did you hear that, Disney?
Torch.
Fate's got a good idea.
Yeah, Human Torch. I think they just didn't do a good job.
No.
These how strong these people actually are.
Yeah.
Think about it.
And the line they give him, flame on, really?
Yeah.
They wanted to make him sound like this biker teenager guy.
Yeah, but he has this immense amount of power with fire. And that's what he comes up with.
I enjoy the Fantastic Four
stand there quiet and just go,
comic books. The movies didn't seem to do him justice.
The flame on goes all the way back to the 70s cartoon.
I know, but
it's just been.
Sometimes it just doesn't work as good in the movies, I think. Because obviously comic books are more cheesy and there's a lot more liberty because it's not real people as far as what we're familiar. Yeah, so it doesn't
translate over.
I can see where that's really difficult when it comes to superhero movies, where it's like, where do we find the fine line where, so it was legitimate that he would say flame on, but it sounded quirky in the movie, but it's something that he was known for. So it's like, how do you...
There's a little bit of camp in a lot of this stuff, and it really looks good in animation format or in a cartoon format. It stays well there. For example, like when they keep introducing all these mechanics to the MCU, like the Eternals brought a whole new mechanics in. It's like, well, it's sort of getting out of hand with the live action stuff. But when it comes to camp and stuff, like I know you were saying like you didn't like the new Aquaman or whatever, but they did bring a new version of him to live screen that worked well. It's just it takes a lot of guts, or again, you're gonna have to like use other platforms to get this.
Like with the Aquaman movie, like I enjoyed all the I don't know how to word it. Like the bar scene,
when he
you know,
wasn't being
action.
Aquaman.
When he wasn't
not necessarily
swimming
when
with
he
the
wasn't being
fishies.
Aquaman, but I just feel like the underwater sequences were just way unbelievable.
Well, it's got to be really
not
rough
believable.
to try to do underwater scenes, you know, with all the details
Yeah.
that you got to add in, like the hair floating and stuff. That's got to be really rough.
Yeah,
and they couldn't do it practically because then they'd have to have like a breathing tube with them.
Their eyes would be all.
Yeah, like, because they'd have to stay in the water for so long.
The thing about the
They'd be
Aquaman
coming out
movie
all wrinkly
is just that, like,
but
I don't know why redheads got to be stupid looking. Like, she did not look like a legitimate redhead. Why are they going to do that? Why can't?
Another thing that bothered me about it is they're doing an underwater scene, yet they're inside of a bubble. Why? Why CGI? Why CGI it?
Yeah, that's true. If you're going to be in a bubble,
if you're underwater, be underwater. If you're underwater in an airtight bubble, you don't need to CGI the underwater.
Right.
I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't know. I think
Well,
that's
you know,
kind
they
of
did
where
that
they.
with Star Wars,
That's kind
too,
of where
didn't
they
they?
went over the. Oh yeah, they did that with the.
I mean,
the
the
prequels.
underwater scenes were pretty cool in the Pirates of the Caribbean, but there wasn't a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
Right.
And they were more like, it was almost like they were animated in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
So you were kind of like, okay, this makes a little sense. So I wondered if they would have done Aquaman, like the scenes underwater, if they were more animated looking.
Right.
Not like super animated, but a little bit more.
Right.
You could be like, okay, this looks not so.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the movie. I watched it several times. It's just that part always, for some reason, it bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like I was watching like what is going on? They're underwater, but they're inside a dry bubble, but we're still getting all the underwater CGI.
I've never even thought about that. It just totally passed me by.
The only one I think
I
that they did pretty good was
somebody I shouldn't have.
Avery.
Does anyone know how to get that back?
I seen that.
You blocked
Avery. I blocked Avery Cruz on accident because he was right underneath the bot there. And I happened. Whoops. How do I get him back on there? Does anyone know?
Sorry, Avery.
We're apparently working with professionals, Dan. They don't block their fan base on the radio.
Well, there was a bot. Someone told me to get the bot. So when I tried
That's why
to do
we
it,
have our
it
mods,
moved,
Dan.
You know?
No, I have no idea.
Our mod wasn't working.
You can do it on your thing. You can unblock her.
You could do it on the I think in the list there.
I think
under your settings. Go to you should be under the cogwheels.
Yeah, under the wheel.
Oh, okay. Under settings here.
Yeah. You should have like either administrative or.
So while we're unblocking Avery.
Forgive us, Avery.
The one
that happened.
The one super. Go ahead.
Oh, I said sorry. I've been blocked by mistake before, so it happens. Dan. That happened to me on RK's channel once. So it's okay.
All right.
Oh man, how do I do this? It says there's no banned people on here, so I don't know. General?
You completely kicked him out.
I did.
She can never come back again.
You put him in that weird glass thing from Superman.
I did. Oh man.
Phantom Zone.
Yeah. Phantom Zone. That's right.
Let me message him on Twitter and say sorry. He was probably enjoying what we were talking about.
He's probably like, what happened? What did I say?
I think he can still watch. He just can't chat.
Are you sure?
Okay. Go over his name, and you should be able to unlock him. As Phil says. I've tried that, Phil. It's not working.
He got hit by a stray.
I think I'm just gonna have to go into YouTube, right, and do it.
No, I think if you find him in the chat list, you can go over his name and do it. But I think Dan, you have to do it.
Yeah, I think you have to do it.
Yeah. Well, Tabitha could too, but I don't see any.
I'm not quite as familiar with it. So, while Dan is surfing, trying to gain back one of
let me try
loyal
to get him back.
subscribers, we can segue into the Book of Boba Fett guy.
Dan, this is the time you turn around and you scream to your wife, "Woman, where's my super suit?
Where's my super suit?
Where's my super suit?
She's probably upstairs going like, "What is he doing?"
I'm gonna laugh when I see something fly from the screen and hit him in the face.
That'd be so great. The Book of Fett. Are we going into the Book of Fett?
Yes, let's
Yeah.
go into the Book
Book
of
of
Fett.
Fett.
So maybe just we can start back with Fate like we did last time, and we just maybe first start off. What are your initial thoughts of the first episode when you saw it?
First episode. So I'm a big fan of The Mandalorian, and I love Clone Wars and all that stuff. Filoniverse.
Nice.
Love all that stuff. So when I came into this, and I've been saying this for several things that Disney's running, please just drop 3 episodes out the gate. Mandalorian came out the gate the first season with 1 episode on Friday, 1 episode on Monday, I believe, and then again on Friday. So we got 3 episodes in 7 days. And so we were well into that was the 3 episodes. That was the plot of the entire series, which pretty much got summed up by the end of the second season, the Grogu arc. So I was very pleasantly, I just liked that. I liked the 3. So that's what I felt when I watched this. It wasn't enough. I was getting a WandaVision feel, not to compare like any type of story or anything, but I was getting a WandaVision feeling like, okay, so I'm going to have to wait until the next episode to see maybe something else. And so that's pretty much where I was at. I just remained hopeful. I didn't really have anything bad to say.
So initially, that was their game plan with all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Just like you're saying, it would have been like whatever day it falls on, a midweek, and then the following regular schedule. The problem I think they ran in with the Book of Boba Fett is 2 things. Number one, they weren't able to start filming because of pandemic when they needed to.
Mm-hmm.
And they're only doing 7 episodes.
Yeah.
Which is like 2 to 3 shorter than they wanted to.
Yeah.
So I think they're trying to stretch it, which is why they're releasing them the way they are, one per week.
Okay.
Isn't besides the fact that the episode 1 and 2, beautiful. I think it was fantastic.
Yeah.
In some of 3, the only part that it just didn't fit was the little Vespas, the little scooters. It didn't belong in that world. It didn't fit at all. They were completely off, and I was waiting for one of them to, like I said yesterday.
It looked like Back to the Future.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's like these guys on these little scooters going 2 miles an hour on a chase scene that, it looked ridiculous. It wasn't filmed right. The movie Han Solo, when they had that scene on the speeder vehicle, that was fast. That was moving.
Yeah.
You can see the action in it. This one was like, ciao. And I'm like, come on.
So, I agree with you, but 2 quick things. We know Tatooine from 1977 was the first time you saw it.
Right.
You got a couple of glimpses of here and there, and obviously back then, budget tight, this and that. You're getting a square box. Whatever fits in the box is all we're going to show you. So, is it possible that those exist in the outside, realm with kids, with Tashi Station, which we never got to see up until now, other than the deleted scenes? And the second thing is Rodriguez. His style of movie is very cyberpunk, right?
Yeah.
With machete, with that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the combination of the 2, the Vespas are over the top. They could have fit, but they needed work.
If they had dingy them up, because remember the kids didn't even have. They were talking. They were lacking of work.
Correct.
So how can they have these beautiful shiny devices and they had no work, they had no job?
Right.
So if they had dirtied them up, even with all their robotic stuff on, it would look cool because it would have fit into the world they were in.
Or we just stole them off a box that was on a crate bound for Coruscant because they looked like they belonged in a lane on Coruscant or something.
Now, they did it on Coruscant. Game on. Okay, it fits right in. But Tatooine, where there's dirt, those things are super shiny.
Right.
I don't know the fascination of always putting these shows on Tatooine. It's like, can't they do a different location? Because like they're always somewhere in the desert. Yeah, the sequel movie started in a desert.
Yeah, so I guess the initial problem to that is the way these series are running is you have no choice but to continue from Tatooine. That's where Boba Fett went down.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And where everything with Mandalorian, everything is in Tatooine. I'm hoping
everything was weaved in order to be able to bring Boba Fett to the surface.
Right.
No pun intended.
Right.
I just want to see newer worlds. Like it. That's why I like some Empire Strikes Back.
So
and Return of the Jedi.
You got with the release of Ahsoka, you're going to see nothing but new worlds.
Right.
Unfortunately, before that, you're going to get a whole bunch more Tatooine because Obi-Wan lives there. That's his house. That's his home.
You think we'll see the what is it? The hotel, the Star Cruiser. You think we'll get a glimpse of that in the show?
No, I don't even think Disney's going to ever show that. You'll never see that anywhere, unless you physically go to it. You'll never see it
and pay $6,000.
You'll see it fly by.
The one thing you may like though, based on that, on what you're looking for, is Obi-Wan will be doing a lot of traveling.
Okay.
So you will get, you'll get more of a Mandalorian style to where he's planet hopping in a sense.
Yeah.
But again, you're going to be flooded with Tatooine because he lives there. Wherever he's going, he's returning.
Right.
But I think with Ahsoka, you're gonna. I don't know if you're familiar with the Star Wars Rebels, the animated series, Filoni's. So you'll get more of that type of thing where they're rebels on the run.
Okay.
They live in the ship, so they'll be all over the place every given week.
Sorry, I left.
Avery did say he's still watching. He just can't message or anything.
So. Suspended.
You forgive us.
I'm still trying to figure this out, but it's not working right now. I'm just. I might have to just do it after we're done with the show.
One of the things that Dennis and we talked on the last show that you and I weren't together was the fact that the Tusken Raiders, the outfits.
Yes.
It was nice to see a deviation of just the tan.
Yeah.
And to see that each one have there, and then the main guy, you could tell that he was the leader, that tribe. So that was amazing to see that. I think that whole Tusken Raider whole thing was just beautiful.
When I built the helmet, I was doing a lot of research on that, and throughout the comic books, which majority of them are canon, they do mention a lot of that differentials and how they wrap, where they wrap, colors, all that stuff. But I never expected to see it in the series, and when that popped up, that was like game on, man.
Yeah,
I still want to go in the shop right now and change that helmet out. I want to rewrap that thing in black and reds and all kinds of colors.
Two lines across it.
Yeah,
they're warriors.
That opens up the door big time.
Has anybody read Kenobi?
No.
I think I just found it.
Yeah, in Kenobi, a lot of people were upset that they were so approachable and stuff, and it's like, well, they were in the book Kenobi. Kenobi approaches them.
Right. Yeah, I think we'll see a lot more of that in the Kenobi series as well.
I like the music for the Book of Boba Fett. I think it's interesting and it sounds good.
They hit a home run with this guy.
Powerful.
That's for sure.
And I have to say, thus far with the show, and like I said, I've only seen a few episodes because I'm going to binge watch them because I heard that's supposed to be the way you do it, or it's a better way to do it. It's the fact that Boba Fett, I apologize. I don't know what you all talked about whilst I was gone. Guys, if you remember before the show started, I mentioned that tickle in the throat that I had when I was at church. And I literally was sitting here like just trying not to cry and not to cough. But I had to
right. You can cough in our ears.
No, okay. It was bad. I was crying. I had to run and get a cough drop. So if you see me looking like a cow, because I got something in my mouth, trying to calm it down, like no amount of water. Anyway, in the Book of Boba Fett,
I think I did it. Avery Cruiser, good.
I just don't think that they make Boba Fett ominous enough. Like he acts like he is old, and Fennec is his caretaker, and she's his mouthpiece. And he's just he doesn't have this presence anymore.
The toughness is not all worth.
And I really think a lot of it has to do with him taking his freaking helmet off all the time. Like,
thank you.
That used to be a thing. And I mentioned this, I don't remember if it was on our channel or somebody else's, but I think they really missed an opportunity here to use some old-fashioned, stylized camera angles to give that air of mystery, that even if he took his helmet off, that we, the fans, never got to see it. So they would have always had that camera angle looking up or cutting it off or something like that. So that way you would maybe only get just the hint of his face, even though we know what he looks like.
You only get the dentures of his face.
They're his real teeth, apparently, but they're overly whitened, which is ridiculous.
Well, that's why we
and they're fixed to be straight, too.
The Mandalorian
I showed you that. I sent it to you.
Old Wild Wild West. That he never took off that helmet.
Right, the Mandalorian was it was good.
I do believe that that the first time that the Mandalorian took his helmet off was too soon. Right. And again, even though he needed to take his helmet off, they should have done the camera at such an angle that you only got to see just a little bit maybe of his chin or something like that, but you never got to see his full face till that last scene, because that last scene wasn't as impactful because you already knew what he looked like. And I think they should do that with the Book of Boba Fett, but it's too late.
It's just a Disney thing. Yeah, everyone takes off their helmets. Iron Man, Spider-Man.
But that was his thing. He was that mysterious.
I know, but it's just what it is with Disney. They have to show their faces.
We'll never know it, but Pedro forced that. We'll never know it. The public will never know it, but Pedro forced that. And I can almost guarantee you they never get Morrison to do that character fully masked and never show his face. He would never agree to do it.
Really?
Yes. If you go back,
that would have been like with it.
If you go back and read, articles Mandalorian wise, going back to season 1 and 2, I think they said somewhere around 76% of the Mandalorian of the scenes with the Mandalorian in it is not even Pedro.
Right.
So
they should have just kept that guy that was doing all the scenes and get rid of Pedro. Because
the problem. I agree with you, but the problem is when you sign a contract and you're paying somebody, it's easy for us to sit here in the chair and say, "Hey, they just let the stuntman." I think it's John Wayne's nephew or grandson who actually does it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, John Wayne's grandson is the actual.
That's cool.
It's easy for us in this chair to say, "Hey, let him do it," but. When Pedro's sitting there cashing the checks and doesn't want to show up to work, you're going to make him take his helmet off.
Did anyone see the new Judge Dredd? I know, another lie.
Oh, yeah.
He never took off his helmet in that movie. And I thought that was so awesome.
See, that leaves that mystery, and it leaves that suspenseful, and it makes him look fearful, like fear-worthy, rather.
They could have captured that mystique of Boba Fett and definitely made it more monumental when he took his helmet off.
So much for this show if they would have left his helmet on, or at least for we, the fans, didn't get to see his face until maybe a certain time later on. I know it would have made those back to tank, scenes very difficult with all the
the other problem is you have to realize story-wise it wouldn't work. Because he doesn't have his helmet.
Right.
He doesn't have his helmet for the first 5 years.
No, I don't understand how he doesn't know that his armor was not in the Sarlacc pit. That
Because
was supposed to be already dead when he got out, right?
Because he's passed out on the sand when they steal it from him. He has no idea what he's wearing when he gets out.
Well, I thought.
But still, again, I feel like that's lazy cinematography.
Yeah,
or videography. This could have been like their Alfred Hitchcock moment. Like, use the angles. You know, we have lost that in our movies these days. We're not really that creative. I feel like maybe Christopher Nolan
know if
might be the last guy that's creative like that.
It's kind of like leaving something out there and letting the audience use their imagination to pick up on it, and then that way you're not treating your audience like they're fools. You're treating them like they're smart and they can figure this out. And those little tidbits like that, like so when they introduced midichlorians, for example, a lot of people got mad. I was one of them. I was like, wait, that just took the mystique of the Jedi away from me. So I grew to like it over time. I was cool with it after a while, just like Jar Jar. I was fine with it after a while. But it did take there is a mystique out there that they do tend to
I think one of the issues with that also is the corporate machine, right? They want a superstar, and a superstar is not going to show up and keep a helmet on for 4 or 5 years.
But he is if he's Boba Fett, because that's how we all know him. Cool. You know, they didn't expect Boba Fett to be such an amazing character that fans would fall in love with because he didn't have that much screen time.
Yeah,
but he was
a little bit more
serious.
Yeah, but
I think
character-wise, yes, but the actor himself,
nice guy.
Right. Yeah. The actor himself. Well, and then they should have just picked the actor in the butt and been like, "That's fine. We'll just CGI your face because that's what we do these days."
But then it doesn't. But see that it. I don't know.
It's CGI his face because he's horrible.
It's two sides of it's two sides of a sword. You know. You don't know.
Right.
You take a big risk. Mm-hmm. There's a lot involved in it. You need the face more than you need the helmet.
True.
I don't think so. I don't think
better
so.
face.
Jango Fett never wore a helmet, other than when he was fighting.
I didn't really like Jango Fett anyway, so to me he wasn't as important.
If you watch the Clone Wars are always the
helmets
off. They're always like they're landing.
Off.
They pull off their helmets and they're walking around with them.
Helmets are battle. It's not battle only. Yeah, it's a battle only thing. That's throughout all 7 seasons of Clone Wars.
But
that's true.
If you take live action, if you take what we know of Boba Fett live action compared to live action, he never took his helmet off, and now he.
Yeah, but also remember, up until 6 weeks ago, we had exactly 3.287 minutes of Boba Fett in the history of Star Wars. 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you saw him, he was either transporting or in some sort of physical confrontation. You didn't see him hanging out in his back to tank. You didn't see him having a bowl of cereal. You didn't see him. you know what I mean?
That's fair.
You saw him for exactly 3.28 seconds.
What about that Christmas special? You see him in there. He's a cartoon, right?
Again, how do you see him? He's riding the mythosaur. He's flying a ship. Dinosaur. It's always something that's helmet required.
He doesn't need his helmet to fly a ship, does he?
No,
probably not.
Yeah. Jango flew without one.
That's right.
The same ship. But
that was Jango's decision.
That's the cockpit I want. You know how everybody makes those cockpits with the Millennium Falcon?
So I guess what I'm getting at is think about it this way. Let's say Empire Strikes Back. Boba Fett's in there for, 12, 13, 14 minutes. They're probably going to get a named actor to play him. I guarantee you in those 12 to 14 minutes, he's taken his helmet off several times.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't, there's no opportunity for it going back. I agree with you guys 100%. The mystique was that. His whole fame and popularity became on where the heck did this guy come from? Who is he?
It's kind of like Darth Vader. You only ever saw the back of his head when his helmet was off until the final movie, and that was that air of mystery about him. Mm-hmm. Obviously he needed it also for the breathing device.
But again, think about what they did with Darth Vader. No name actor.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's true.
Right.
Too.
No name actor.
Yeah.
That's
they
something
hired
that
the guy
I missed
based
about
on his
Star
height.
Wars. I kind of miss that about Star Wars, because when George did Star Wars, he didn't always have these big name actors. He would have some kind of strewn there, but it was almost like he was giving the little guys an opportunity. Right. And I miss that about Star Wars too. And even like with these Marvel movies, I'm getting so sick and tired of all these big name actors becoming even bigger named actors. Like I really wish that they would find some no-name people and give them a chance, because there's plenty of actors out there that probably could do a good job.
Yeah, but again, corporate machine, we're risking money here.
I know, but see, but that's the thing. It's like it's a like we actually, I think we can all agree, it's a lost art. And like you said, it's all about the money now.
It's lost.
Yeah, it's all about the money. There's no risk taking.
No.
What if he just had his 30% more of the time he had his helmet on in those scenes when he,
it's the same in the new Marvel movies. Spider-Man always has his face off. His face is always showing.
Yeah.
Well, in the Mandalorians, the same thing. The true Mandalorians kept to that code as it moved, it progressed in time. That it was watered down.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them didn't keep to your Mandalorian.
That's what was so cool about Darth Vader too, because he had his helmet on the whole time, and then when he took it off at the end there, everybody was like, whoa.
But again, different scenario, right? Darth Vader can't live without his helmet on.
That's true.
Yeah, but I think if they would have done that today, you would have seen him with his helmet off. It would have been more like Kylo Ren. There would have been.
And then here's another one for you guys to think about. Think about this: if the movies were done in sequential order like they are now, you get Rogue One first, right? What do you get in Rogue One? You get 2.5 minutes of Darth Vader with no suit on, period. Right? Full body.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
even Darth Helmet had to take off his.
Yeah, he couldn't breathe in that damn thing. He couldn't breathe that damn thing.
No, yeah, I totally get it.
That was funny.
I think if they would have made the original series now, Darth Vader would have had his mask off.
Yeah, it all has to do with. Unfortunately for us, it all has to do with money, the face, and that's just it.
Dan jammed Avery's radar.
He did. He jammed his radar.
Raspberry. There's only one who will give me the raspberry. Lone Star. I love that movie.
That's funny. Poor Avery.
Poor Avery. He's back now. He's back.
He fought the law and the law won.
That's right. Nice. Oh my goodness.
Rogue Disney. Okay.
There's a reason why we connect to those masks. The masks make it easier to relate to the character.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true.
Yeah, because the masks, they look cool or whatever. Like if something doesn't look cool, you'd be like, I don't care about that one.
Well, again, it's that air of mystery. Again, it's like you deep down inside, you always wanted to know what Darth Vader looked like under that mask, but it kept you wanting more, and that's why it was such a flabbergasting event when he took his helmet off when he was dying. It was like this moment, And
Dennis is going to show something. What do you got? What do you got?
Helmets make the movies.
Really
there
cool.
You go. That's
nice.
What's her name there?
Fennec Shand.
Wow.
So was that 3D printed, or did you make that?
This is a 3D print. Okay. It's done here, though. I made the 3D print.
That's cool.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Beast.
It's beautiful.
To do.
Thank you, Amazon, for sending me the wrong color gray, by the way.
Oh, sweet. Well, you're going to paint it anyways, right?
I am going to paint it, but just makes it more difficult to see all the patch marks and lines I got to fill in.
Oh.
That's so neat. And what's the little building behind you? I'm trying to. Is that from Tatooine?
This?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
This is a diorama I built for the Corvette.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's pretty cool, though.
Ooh.
That is
Little red Corvette.
This is all done out of SPX foam, like the foam used to insulate your house.
Is that Watto?
I like it.
Yeah, that's Watto. That's Watto in the garage.
Cool.
Hey, Matt
Very
Vader's
neat.
here. Hello,
Is
Matt
that a?
Vader.
Oh
Good
yeah,
evening. What's happening?
you've got even those caps from those squirt pouches, yogurt pouches. That's funny.
That's amazing.
That is so cool.
So that moisture evaporator is made completely out of sprinkler parts.
Sweet.
Okay.
And then all the
Good
crates,
job.
all the crates and barrels and stuff are 3D printed.
Okay.
Wow.
That's cool.
Good.
I just
job.
want to quickly address something.
Dennis,
I
you
see a
gotta
couple
show
of
us your,
people in the chat, and I'm not saying that. So I see when I said know nothing people, like little names, I wasn't talking. What I'm like, some people were saying there's, Alec Guinness and Peter Cushing. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they weren't the main characters necessarily. They were the important secondary characters that helped the main characters develop, but they gave nobody at that time, like Harrison Ford wasn't that big in Hollywood at the time. He was a rising star.
Harrison Ford was hired to be a carpenter on the set.
Exactly. But they gave these little people a chance to become huge successes. But you that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, even in episode 1, Liam Neeson, I mean, he wasn't as big as he is now, but he was a lot more like, he had a bigger part to play in Hollywood than, obviously than Jake Lloyd. And then even Natalie Portman wasn't as big as she, of course, is right now. And so that's what I'm saying. That's what I think is missing, is that we're not giving the little people a chance. We're flooding it full of the bigger names, like everything. That's what I meant by that. I don't want people to misunderstand.
In the TV series, I agree. In the TV series, you're right. But in the movies, they still run the same format. Did anybody know who John Boyega was 5 years ago? I had no clue who he was.
Tag the block.
And unfortunately, he didn't get a bigger fame from the movies.
Yeah.
Because
Or even Daisy Ridley. Or what's his name? Poe Dameron, Isaac. Oscar Isaac. I couldn't think of his first name. Oscar Isaac. They follow that line. The problem with these movies is that these are established characters, right? So Boba Fett, for example, is a clone. Yeah, he's a clone, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna get the guy who donated to make the clones.
Yeah.
Here's my question. I was talking to Aedo about it before. Was Boba Fett should be younger, though, because it's the same character that played Jango Fett that plays him now, right? So Boba Fett was a non-altered clone. So he should be younger because he's not aging as fast.
But you're talking from the last time you saw Boba Fett, which would have been the Clone Wars cartoon, you're looking at he would have been right around 16 in the last episode or so, 15 or 16.
Right.
So you're talking 40 years between then and Boba Fett.
20.
20.
20, I'm sorry. Yes, 20 years between then and now, right? Plus, don't forget that they say
you should still look a little younger, is what I'm saying.
The sun on Tatooine makes you look older because look at Alec Guinness compared to I keep blanking on these names.
Ewan McGregor.
Thank you. Compared to Ewan McGregor in those movies.
Yeah. The sun
right.
does
Well, I
make
mean,
you older. Look at me and
obviously, there's only so much you can do with the actor since it's been so long. But I mean, you could stretch it and say basically, the dry
what I was saying, Matt.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
Another thing too is like you got to take into account, for example, the Mandalorian's an original character, so he's not going to get as much criticism as Boba Fett is, who is an established character.
Right.
But so it's kind of playing with that character like Boba Fett, that you're going to get a lot of criticism. There's going to be a lot of grading on that character.
Yeah,
for sure. I just feel like every other character, of course, I've only seen 2 or 3 episodes. I feel like every other character is more interesting than Boba Fett himself. And I think that's a shame because it's called the Book of Boba Fett, but I'm way more interested in the side characters than I am Boba Fett in this show.
He did come out all beast mode in episode 14 of The Mandalorian, and I think it was Robert Rodriguez who directed that, wasn't it, Dennis?
Yes. So
they did a good job in The Mandalorian with Boba Fett.
No spoilers, but the next 3 episodes are going to be that Boba Fett. That's where the series is now in the timeline.
But that makes it kind of a shame that they don't open up the gates with a more interesting character, when it's Boba Fett.
Man.
Also, I don't like the fact that Filoni is not part of this one either. Because then
that's what I've heard makes a big difference for the show.
It does. Filoni is, again, no pun intended. He is the clone of George Lucas.
Right.
I've heard that.
He carries. There's not a feather on set that he doesn't know about.
Right.
Story wise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you guys watched. I believe it's the end of season 1 Mandalorian. They do the documentary series at the end. I think that one's like a 4 or 5 episode deal.
Episode 2, the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, where he tells you the story of the Duel of Fates.
Really passionate.
Yeah, nobody ever saw that coming, and that totally you watch that speech and then go watch the prequels. You will change your whole outlook on every prequel movie that's out there.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a great way, just based on his little 2-minute speech.
He was very passionate. He was very happy to be doing what he was doing.
And he knows.
Where can I find this speech?
It's on Disney Plus. It's
Mandalorian.
If you go to the Star Wars section on Disney Plus, it's a documentary series at the end of season 1. I forget what the heck it's called.
Yeah, it's the parallel documentary making of Mandalorian or whatever. Yeah. And it's like episode 2. It's like
all the directors. It's a round table.
Kennedy, a bunch of people were there. It's
a round table with all the directors, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, all the original model makers and everybody from the 70s that are still on now. So it's like a round table discussing how they pulled from the old to get the Mandalorian to look like, the 70s movies. But that 2 minute, you can YouTube that too. It's Dave Filoni Duel of Fates speech.
Yes.
When you hear that speech, your thoughts of Anakin, your thoughts of Qui-Gon, your thoughts of how the prequels went completely will change.
I mean, I liked the prequel.
Yeah, I like the prequels.
I like the prequels as well.
I didn't have a problem with them.
But it gives you
Anakin and Padme were cringe, but overall I liked them.
But it gives you it gives you a much better understanding of where the story comes from, why the story is what it is.
He's talking about the Duel of Fates. He's talking about the battle, the actual lightsaber battle. Scene. He's like, the lightsaber battle actually means something.
Right.
It's sort of a key to
the key to the Star Wars universe. It's so weird when you listen to it. It's the key to the Star Wars universe.
Okay.
And it was a prequel done, 25 years after the movies came out.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting take, and I really felt the passion coming off of him. I was like, I'm glad he's kind of involved with this stuff. But
yeah, I mean,
you've got me intrigued.
I've watched
How'd you guys like that
times.
Sarlacc pit? When Boba Fett comes out, he's a lot fatter, older.
It aged you.
It ages you, makes you fat.
Be skinny as a rail because there's no food down there.
So the weird thing is he's only technically in there for, a couple hours. 24, 48 hours.
Oh.
Yeah, he's only in the pit 24 to 48 hours. Because that's actually a flashback going back that's 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
Going back 9 years.
But he had a wrong strap in his pocket. That's what he was using, so he's good.
What's that?
Joking. brought the rest of the pocket.
Yeah.
He was good.
I just have a problem with him coming out of the sand next to the pit because there's no way he could have dug this way and then like 15 feet of sand, compressed sand.
No, he should have used
He
his
burned his way out, which would turn the sand into
he
glass.
should have used his pack, right? Because
But he should have done that the easy way out.
Yeah.
Rather than going this way and then
jetpack would be.
He wouldn't have been able to go straight up because the mouth would have closed. So he burned a hole into the side of the Sarlacc and went up through the sand.
Yeah, because that
would initially, if you think about it this way, he didn't come out of the mouth because the mouth would close. He came out of the ribs or the stomach.
I know, but he still has to come out of the sand. And I'm just thinking, like, sand is heavy.
Didn't he originally come out of the mouth?
In the comics? Well, in Legend, but that doesn't count for Disney.
Oh.
Okay. We don't count Disney. We count the
Legend doesn't count.
This is an alternative universe.
They don't count
as far as we know, up until 6 weeks ago, Boba Fett was dead.
That's true.
Wouldn't it be more like a year or two ago since he was in The Mandalorian?
Well, technicality, but yes. Technicality, but yes.
Right.
So you see him come out of the Sarlacc pit, nobody knows he's alive.
Right. Yeah.
True.
Well, and again, and that's just what's just amazing to me in this show. And maybe it gets better since you guys have intrigued me in the show once more. But is that like nobody seems to care that Boba Fett's alive. You know, they're just like, oh, it's Boba Fett. That's cool. You're like,
now let's talk about that chase scene.
I have a feeling that there's a purpose for that based on these next 3 episodes.
Okay, all right.
I think this is, how can I put this? I think we're about to see hammer down Boba Fett here.
I hope so.
Oh, it's going to take that long to make an interesting.
I do
Boba
too.
Fett? The problem is they had
Dennis is very optimistic.
They had a very big gap to fill, right, and a very short amount of time to get you all that information. Yeah. Where was he? How did he get out? How did he survive? Who taught him? You know, who kept him alive? Where, you know, all that stuff in 2 hours.
Right. Do you think the short seasons are hurting these episodes?
Yeah, and I don't understand why the episodes are so short.
Well, I mean, as far as the season
itself,
right? Do you think that it should be, originally TV shows were like 20, 22 episodes long. Do you think that there's a reason why they're keeping them so short?
I just think that they had no choice on this because usually they at least 12.
Like a bantha.
Yeah.
Like a bantha.
Like a bantha.
I know, and all you see is teeth. Like
yeah.
And all you see is this nice white straight teeth that almost look like dentures. Like a bantha.
Yeah.
He's got like this big smile on his face. What did you guys think of that chase scene for those who did watch it? I thought it was the slowest chase scene in the world.
Oh, the Vespa chase scene? Yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah, with the...
It was horrible.
Now, what would have made it nice?
It would have made it nice if they removed that entire scene. I think
he could have just jetpacked in. Yeah.
There you go. That's right.
And the part when he goes into where the mayor is, right, and then the doors close, and he has to stand out there and wait in the lobby. Boba Fett doesn't wait.
See, there you go. Yeah.
No, he doesn't wait.
But okay, again, I think this is all the build-up for, hey, I've had enough, and I'm about to rip some people apart.
I think it shouldn't take like 3 or 4 episodes for us to be like, there's the Boba Fett we know and love.
But we already know the Boba Fett we know and love because we saw him last season. These are all flashbacks in the past, right? You gotta look at you gotta pay close attention to the timeline.
I am looking at the flashbacks. I'm not even talking about the flashbacks. I'm talking about when he's with Fennec Shand and they're walking to town, and it's just like she's his caretaker because he's an old man that can't do what he used to do. Honestly, that's the vibe that I get.
There's a very key important part at the end of the last episode as well, too, where the droid tells him you are finally healed.
Okay.
Right.
So,
well, but I don't want. I don't know. I just it wasn't what I was expecting when I was thinking Boba Fett was coming back, and I'm a little disappointed. You want to have a flashback, Dan?
No. I just want to backtrack to that race scene. What I thought would have been cool, because I looked at that chase scene as like Back to the Future style feel, but very slow. Definitely not definitely not as fast as Back to the Future. Very slow. But what would have been cool was that car, the speeder car thingy that he had, and he crashed into that whatever it was, and the stuff came down. It would have been
Those
better.
are.
Yeah,
That's a very specific fruit from Star Wars Rebels.
Right.
That's,
But it would have been
Melu
better
run. It's a Melu run.
if it was like a cart full of bantha poop and fell on top of him.
Okay, it's
then
not
he spits
Aladdin.
it out.
No, it's Back to the Future, man.
Back to the Future.
Oh, okay.
I
I
hate
have
the
an Aladdin.
It goes and crashes into it every time. That would have been a cool callback. And then I would have said, okay, that was a cool, give Back to the Future some props, that's kind of cool. That's fine.
Well, because
I'll
didn't
give
Back
it
to
to
the
them.
Future predict
But-
the movies that were going to come out in the movie theater?
Right, like
It was
Jaws.
like, wasn't
or
it Star
something.
Wars? There were predictions actually in there.
They predicted the Chicago Cubs actually winning the World Series, which really happened.
Mhm.
Oh, nice.
And then wasn't it Star Wars Episode 8 or 9 or something like that?
No, I think it was Jaws 3D30 or something.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
something.
that was
It was
crazy
something
number.
I gotta
ridiculous,
look because there were several things in there. I remember people
Yeah.
talking about how Back to the Future predicted the future.
I think going
Something
back
about
to
it.
The Cubs winning, and there was a couple other things.
going back to the chase scene, I think the volume actually hurt the chase scene. I don't think they can do
Yeah.
chase scenes on that TV screen. I'm
Definitely
serious.
not.
I think it's too.
And then
The
it made it
video
look
background
slow. I
is
don't
too
know what-
slow.
Right.
The-
That could have been it.
I
Argue
think,
that.
I think the volume hurt them on that.
the camera movements, because
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
they were
camera
very-
movement, instead of being still, they need to start moving
Yeah,
them.
But-
make it look like it's faster.
Because
But I think that's the problem too. Think about it. When they're using the view, they're in a room, right? So your camera movement is limited.
oh yeah, no, you're right.
You know what I mean? You
Right.
can't. You make a sudden swing, and all of a sudden you're catching the guy like they did in Mandalorian with the blue jeans behind the door. You know, that made it out to. You can watch that on the episode.
Nice. I need
Yeah,
to
but-
see that part.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if it's the actual Luke Skywalker episode or the one before where they're on the battleship and they're running down the hallway super fast and they cut the corner and all you see is like a pair of jeans and white sneakers at the bottom of the door.
Like I said, in
That's
this
cool.
scene, had they either done fast motion filming or B removed that entirely, it would have worked. But
Right.
either way, because the TV, it's awesome, it's
I
fantastic.
like what.
Just that one thing just took it off. And that's it. And it was just for that one, slot of the film. It wasn't the whole thing. The whole thing was great overall.
I see you, Fate. Now I did like the the Wookiee there. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
cool.
He's my favorite part.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah,
lot more
he was pretty-
intimidating than
pretty
Boba
bad.
Fett is.
Yeah.
No.
That's true.
Those
He
iron
does,
knuckles.
he
Yep,
does
that's
the
another
eyebrows.
thing.
He's got the
man, that
eyebrows.
was cool.
It's the hair. The beards make you a little bit more.
That's it. Oh. That's right. Let's see here. I want to see the chase scene speed up with Benny Hill music.
My man
That would
Vader.
be
Yep.
great.
Yep.
That'd be great. We should. Somebody should do it. Anyways, yeah. So those are our thoughts, I guess. Right?
Well,
To see what
you
happens.
Brutal, honest.
You've got me.
Yeah,
Like I said, I haven't seen the show, so all of you have got me interested in it. I've seen a lot of different
Look
point
at
of views
every-
around the
yeah.
world, but
A lot of people are complaining about this and that and this and that, but every Star Wars movie has this cheesy bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. You're absolutely right.
It
It
just
does.
is. I mean, if four little scooters are going to turn you away from watching the whole
it's not really
episode.
that. It's just I want to make sure it's a good story and not force fed.
No, the story's good.
It seems
you know
alright.
what? Exactly
seems
what you
alright.
said is kind of what's happening because they have no choice. It is a forced story because the story's already been written. So they have no choice but to tell it that way.
Yeah.
Once we get past this season, I think we're going to we'll be a lot happier with what we're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Matt Vader, technically that's tomorrow morning, but yes, you're right. Technically.
No, midnight starts the next day, so it is technically morning.
Right. Well, for me, it would be in an hour, midnight. So technically, it's the next day and in the morning. Yes.
Well, just a quick question about the Book of Boba Fett. What do you guys, all as males, what do you think of Garsa Fwip? I'm just curious. I've heard a lot of interesting. Yeah.
Who?
The Twi'lek, however you pronounce that, that runs the cantina or whatever it is.
Jennifer Beals.
Jennifer Beals.
Oh, the lady there. Okay, yeah.
Just curious what everybody's views are on her.
I've seen
pretty.
pictures.
I don't know. Yeah.
Just
I don't
curious.
know what she does.
Just
I think she just runs the cantina.
Are you talking about looks, or are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, what?
Are you asking what?
It's obvious she's
gonna be
100%. She's 100% being set up to be the informant. She'll be the go-to in every episode.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Just curious.
She'll be the eyes and ears of most Espa.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Nice.
We got Drunk 3PO stopping by saying, "Hey, Tabitha."
Hey,
and everyone else.
Hey, block him.
Yeah,
block
him.
We had a small mishap earlier, Jay, with one of our loyal followers. Dan accidentally blocked him. He's trying to block a bot, and long story short, thank God Avery Cruz came back and still loves us.
Don't cross Dan. He'll block you.
He'll block
you. Dan was in a mood, and he was like, you know what? Block him.
I'm going to block everybody. No one can talk. Just listen to us. No.
Well, Matt Vader, the reason that I give you daggers is because I was forced to follow you on Twitter. It was against my better judgment. So I don't like being told what to do. So that's why it's a love-hate thing.
He's gonna get a tattoo on his behind.
That's right.
If he gets 10,000 subs by July 4th of the Salty Nerd logo. So make sure you
he's way cooler than
that channel.
That's what I was reading that on Twitter, and I kind of hope it doesn't happen. It's like this thing. It's like, I would love for him to get those 10K, but I don't want him to get a tattoo on his back.
I want him to get 10K because I'll drive to Vegas. It's only like 4 hours away, and I will witness that because it'd be so funny.
No, the tattoo would be even better if it's Dan's face. I am the law.
That's right, everybody. I am the law. Drunk says, that is why I just unsubbed from Salty Nerd Bros.
That's right. I need to unfollow him now. We don't do that here. No.
I'll sell tickets.
Sell tickets.
I will help you
charity.
sell them.
Nothing a week of therapy can't fix, Avery Cruz says. Just remember, everybody, I am the law.
Oh, I thought for sure he's going to be like, we'll give you wing hugs.
Yeah.
Only when I make mistakes.
You wield your authority over Avery.
That's right.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Charity is my retirement fund.
It is retirement fund, yes.
It's a good name. So.
I think we pretty much nailed from superheroes to all the way to Star Wars.
We did.
We did.
We actually did a really great job staying on target, because even when we wandered off on our superheroes, they were still technically superheroes.
Did a little cartoon side trick.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Thank you guys so much for being on our show.
Yeah, thank you, everybody who has been watching and still watching. Thanks for that.
Yeah,
and
we appreciate it.
Yeah,
Avery, thank you for your forgiveness, your kind heart, and
Yeah.
I'm never crossing Dan again on a live
That's
chat.
right.
He'll block me.
Watch out, sticky fingers. Well, do you want to give everybody a chance to plug their
Yes,
channel?
of course. I will go
Who do you
with
wanna start?
eight Men Fate first. We'll
Yeah.
go then Cap, then Dennis, then Aedo and Tabitha. You guys can too if you really want to, but since you're like normals on here now,
Aedo's like old news now. Like,
yeah, right.
bless them.
Go ahead.
Check me out on my channel, Aim and Fate, YouTube, and I read graphic novels and books and stuff like that. Do short reviews, and then I also probably do a live stream a week or something like that. And then you can follow me on Twitter under the same name.
Sweet.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm JT Gunter. You'll see me around other people's channels in the chat boxes. I don't really have a YouTube, but I'm a big supporter of all the independents. And you can find me on Twitter as at jgun09. Right now, I'm America's butt. I won't say that.
Yeah.
Seems to be a fan favorite so far. And then I'll see you around in the chats.
So you don't forget you got an Instagram too.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I do have an Instagram, Gunter Graphics. I've done a few logos for a few YouTubers, and
that's right.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Awesome work.
That's awesome. Go ahead, Dennis.
You can find me everywhere: Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok.
Oh my
Black
gosh.
Market Outpost.
Doing a lot of those TikTok videos.
You
just-
do dancing videos, Dennis.
No, they're just props.
Okay. Darn, I would get a TikTok just to see you dance, Dennis.
Dennis, before you go, I want to see your Tuscan helmet.
It's in the shop. I can run up there and get it if you want to wait.
Sure, we'll wait, and we'll talk while you run and go.
All right.
Well, then, Aedo, why don't you talk about your channel then?
That's right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Fabworks. You can find me Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Patreon. I do now Fabworks Live show. We talk about props and how to build them and all that good stuff. We had a really good show last night. We have Brian
Great show.
James
Great show.
from the Rebel Base Builds. Yeah, it was fantastic, and we even had to cut it short. There was a bunch of props that we were going to show that we didn't even get to do. So we got more shows coming. It's going to be fun. But if you're into props and stuff like that, come over and check me out on Fabworks Live. Pretty cool stuff.
Really
and I'm
cool
here.
stuff.
It was a great episode. It was one of your best. I really enjoyed that one.
Thank you.
Excuse me, JT. You're supposed to say the one that I was on and Dennis was on was the best.
That's right.
It progressed, right?
It progressed, yeah.
Right. I understand. I'm old news now. No. Just kidding. I'm old news. I'm like Aedo now on this channel. I'm old news now. Even though Aedo's new here, so technically.
I'm the old guy.
That's awesome. Did you see my comment in your and I know your wife did, about the guy liner? And somebody's like, "What the heck is guy liner?" And I wanted to write in, but I just like I'll just let it die. I just let it die.
She's saying I should wear guy liner like a rock star.
A rock star. It's gonna be day old guy liner, yeah.
And don't forget, everybody, subscribe to our channel, Inside the Booth. And go visit us at InsideTheBoothTV.com. Go visit our shop pages. Go get some gifts for yourself, for your loved ones. Gifts from Inside the Booth. Do show your loved ones that you love them. So go ahead and get them. Got mugs, hats, hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts.
Valentine's Day is coming up. If you get an extra large hoodie, you can share it with a loved one on those cold winter nights.
That's right, with wing hugs on it.
Wing
hugs. Show my wing hug shirt. We got wing hug shirts. He didn't hear me, huh? Amen. No. Fate. Show your wing hug shirt.
Oh, my friend.
Because Dan is the law, and you will do what the law says.
I don't want to disappear.
That's right.
Dan's gonna snap his fingers and suddenly
I know.
fate will be gone.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
This
All right.
smite you.
There he is. Look. Apparently, I have the power to bring him back. There we go.
Sorry.
All right.
Okay.
We
All right,
ready?
Dennis, yeah.
We just read.
Yeah.
First, I'm going to make my good buddy Aedo happy. I brought his favorite down first.
I do love
Wow.
that one.
Oh,
It's
that's
beautiful.
cool. Let's make you a solo layout. Let's see that pretty
That
close.
is amazing.
It's
That's
cute.
cool.
That is awesome.
I did a logo for a Twitch streamer called Texas Mando. And if you go on my Instagram, you'll see it.
That's
But
a sick moment, man.
he had a helmet with a cowboy hat.
Oh,
He's
that's
from
cool.
Texas.
It's pretty cool.
All right.
Definitely check that one out.
Now,
Definitely will.
this is what I'm famous for.
Like his pride and joy.
Here comes
Oh,
all
damn.
It was in the garage. It might be frozen, but I'll try to hit the sound.
That
Oh,
is
nice.
cool.
It's got a sound thing to it.
Oh,
It
yeah.
does. It's
Full
amazing.
sound effects.
Oh, nice.
Obi?
I pretty much sounded like that, right?
Right, yeah, close enough, Dan.
All right.
Can you translate for us, Dan?
Yeah, it means you know, I
Like
wanna
and
fight
subscribe
somebody.
to Black Market Outpost.
That
That's
is.
what it says. Yeah.
And you
That's
wore that
nice.
to the store, didn't you, Dennis? Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, when they had the big mask pandemic going on, this was my mask when I went grocery shopping.
I love it.
Oh, that's great.
That's funny. That's really funny.
That is the
So,
best.
yeah, this thing is 100% done with a Home Depot drop cloth.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
These
That
are
is cool.
all individual strips glued down.
Hey,
Hey,
good
did you-
news. You don't have to have it like in a perfect pattern anymore, right? Because of the new movie that the
No,
new show.
so because of the new show, I want to change this completely now. I want to do all the black striping in it.
Oh, there you go. You could do that.
But I'm thinking of keeping this one and just doing one from scratch with.
There you go. Do a whole new one. Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to Star Wars Celebration here in May.
Mhm.
That just came about today, by the way.
Oh, nice.
And Brian Thompson from the Smugglers Room wants me to wear this full outfit, but I don't know if I want to walk around the convention center, for 4 days dressed
sweating.
like this.
Yeah, you'll be
Is it
sweating so
heavy?
bad.
Because I mean, drop cloths can weigh pretty good amount, and with all the stuff
it's
in the
heavy,
front,
yeah.
is it
I mean,
heavy?
So the actual skull of it is 3D printed. And then this top section here, I cut the rim off of a hard hat
Oh,
Oh,
and
wow.
I attached it to the 3D print so that I could have like the webbing and the padding from a hard hat when you wear it.
Oh, okay.
So
there you
between the hard hat and the 3D printing, and this is all real leather around here, it's pretty heavy.
It's quite heavy. Yeah. that's what I
Yeah,
was thinking.
you're going home with a sore neck at the end of the show.
Yeah.
go. Yeah, that's for sure.
So I don't know.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's awesome.
And you're on Instagram too as Black Market.
Instagram,
Yeah.
Twitter,
Just look for BMO.
YouTube.
BMO.
Yeah, all
Black
these builds,
Market
all these
Outpost.
builds are on YouTube
right.
from scratch. You can see the whole from beginning to end
That's right.
on all the builds. Everything behind me, except that new one. That's a Kelly Stern, Aedo.
Yep. Yeah.
He
Another
said-
great.
So cool.
I traded a lightsaber for it. I made him
nice.
a lightsaber, and he made me that.
Man, Dennis
Oh,
just
that's cool.
sounds like he belongs in Star Wars. Like I traded him a lightsaber for it. So casual. Like I made a lightsaber. I traded it.
He's gonna show it off now.
Got
No.
to. It's beautiful.
Look at this. Oh,
Can you still make hot wings in it?
Funny.
There it is. Look at that.
My wife wanted to throw away the air fryer, so instead I turned it into the Frog Lady's egg container.
yeah.
Greeblies, right?
cool.
Greebles. Is that what that's considered?
Greeblies, yeah.
Greeblies.
Jibbies.
This whole
Greeblies,
bottom
that's-
section and the whole front section was the old air fryer.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's
There you
cool.
go.
Yeah.
They made a little frame to put it on a backpack as a backpack.
Very creative. So the lid opens up and you can throw stuff in there.
Well, it's supposed to-
Initially, when I built this, I built it for a little competition we had, and I actually had floating eggs in here with water beads.
Oh, nice.
But I left it in the garage over the summer, and the water bees didn't like that.
Yeah.
It took a while to get the stink out of it.
Very talented. Very cool.
Yes.
Great work. All his projects.
The only thing that I made so far that's Star Warsy is my microphone. It's a
You did?
TT8LY7
You looked that up.
gatekeeper droid. I did.
You did. It's pretty cool.
That thing's
like
cool, man. Is that your microphone?
Yeah.
Yep.
That is my microphone.
I like that.
I just got to add some lights to it. So
Did you put a microphone in it, or did you buy it like that?
I put the microphone in it,
Oh, that's awesome.
and I made it. So I made it like this, pretty much. Yeah, it was an interesting make. I tried filming it like you guys do over there, Aedo and Dennis, but I don't think I filmed it correctly. But I'll still put it together and
Put it together. Yeah,
I'll still
it's
post
tough,
it,
man.
but-
That's the one part I hate about it, man.
Mm.
You get into a building groove, and then all of a sudden you got to stop because, oh damn, I should have filmed that, or I got to
Yeah.
flip that the other way so the camera can
or I
see it now.
I didn't film it properly.
Yeah, I hate it.
That's
Hate it.
rough. Yeah.
Tabitha does great with her build videos, so maybe she'll offer you some suggestions.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, she
Tab
paints.
don't build. Tab bakes. That's all.
Yeah, that's right. You bake.
Yeah, but the filming of your baking, whoever does it or you do it is good.
I try.
Well, I
Thank
wanted
you.
to go as easy and cheap as possible, so I just
Nah,
kinda
I can't
used
do
my
that.
phone. And I put it on the top of my bench, and I just kind of.
Dennis has shown us more stuff.
Oh wait, hey. Oh, what is that?
It's a kyber
Well, one of
crystal
those-
container.
That looks like one of
I've
those
never seen
flashlights.
It was one of those flashlights, but now it's got a kyber crystal in it.
It's
Oh, that's cool.
beautiful. Look at that.
See it wiggling
cool.
around. It's too bright.
I see that.
Wow.
That's cool.
Didn't you make a
I did
thermal
all this.
detonator too?
Yeah, I did all this weathering with toothpaste.
That's cool.
Ooh. Wow.
So you put your base layer down, and then you streak toothpaste wherever you don't want the orange to stick, and then you can just wipe it off, and it shows like it's, wear and tear.
Like chipped away.
What is
Yeah,
that?
that's cool.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, toothpaste or mustard works good too.
Mustard works, huh?
Mustard just makes your project stink. Toothpaste is minty, nice.
Nice. Nice. Smell like a hot dog all day long with mustard.
I like hot dogs.
Cool.
But anyway.
Very cool. Very cool.
Very
stuff.
cool. So,
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, well, thanks everybody for showing up and watching and being here. Looks like someone just got on and says, "Hey."
well,
Oh,
it's Brightest Day. Sorry, Brightest Day. You're going to have to go back to the beginning and watch.
Yeah, go back to the beginning. We're done.
We talked about
You'll
cool
have to
stuff,
watch
so
it.
go
That's
back.
right. Superheroes and the Book of Boba Fett.
Great.
And then we showed off some cool Dennis's cool stuff. So everybody, thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here. Have a good night. Sleep tight, and
Don't let the bug
we'll
buds
see
fight.
you. That's right. And then we'll see you on Sunday when we talk about Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
But which
So
Spider?
goodbye.
We'll find out.
Well, we're
on
doing all
Sunday.
3 Spider-Man, right? It's a rumble for like which Spider-Man.
I
we'll
know
see.
that, Dan. I was
Whatever.
trying to make it sound intriguing and engaging.
Oh, all right. Well, you guys, we'll see you. We'll see you
block
there
you.
anyways.
Be careful, he'll block you.
That's right. I'll block you. All right.
All right.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Right.